Hello, everybody, and welcome to another lovely episode of Sullivan Night. I am Sal, your host, and today we have the campaigning Cambrian Novella Heartstrings.
Cambrian, yes. Cambion.
I was so close. All right.
Hi.
I thought of that
Hello,
while you were getting
everyone.
water. I was like, campaigning Cambrian. Anyway, I was so close. It was such a good, alliteration.
So close. We were the most way there. That's all that matters.
I almost had it. But, welcome in, everybody. And welcome in, Novella. How are you?
Tired but good.
You know, I feel that. Boy. All right. You know, this is like the third episode, and I'm already like, how do I start these?
Welcome to improv, baby.
Yeah, no, I'm just
Nobody
like,
knows how to do anything. It's a lot of yes and.
Yeah. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. So what do? Tell us about yourself.
I've gotten words. I have been getting better at describing that lately, I think. Hello, everyone. It is a pleasure to meet everybody. I am Novella Heartstrings. I am a Cambion VTuber, D&D inspired even. I play a variety of games, draw sometimes, and every other Saturday I run D&D with my lovely friends. So yay. I just recently started getting back into streaming. There was just a rough patch these past few months, but I'm getting back into the swing of things. I think. I think.
Yeah. I did note, I do remember, have noticed that you kind of, stopped a little bit. But, ever since we did the TwitchCon, we called it that you would just, because me and Silver saying,
non-stop, yeah.
Right after TwitchCon, it's just gonna be like, oh yeah, I need to stream every day for 3 months, and
I want to get back to it. I enjoyed it so much. Is Novella's audio quiet for anyone else? Uh-oh, am I quiet?
I have upped her volume.
She sells seashells by the seashore. Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, now, brown cow. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather.
How much cheese could a woodchuck sneeze if a woodchuck could sneeze cheese?
I actually had a job for a little while where they actually required me to do 45 minutes at work of those tongue twisters.
Oh.
They're like, to ensure accuracy, you need to do... And it was just some guy, just everyone in a section, because it was like a phone job, right? We'd just walk and have a guy, we'd walk into a little room, and we'd all just do it at the same time while a guy walked by and listened to each of us independently. Oh, you're doing that correctly. Good job. You can go out to the you can go out to the floor.
I feel like I would throw at him just like, Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't Fuzzy Wuzzy.
Did you ever do the hand thing where they drew the bear and they switched the stuff around?
No.
You not know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't think I know what you're talking about.
Was it Fuzzy Wuzzy? It was one of those Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, and they'd have a little bear that they drew on their hand in different spots, and as they said the parts, it would be a different. They would switch it to a different picture of the bear being up front. I mean, fair enough.
I never encountered that actually, but that sounds like that definitely sounds like something that was in elementary era of school. I would have definitely encountered that, but I unfortunately no. Choo-choo. What's going on?
Oh, I unlocked.
I'm kind of looking at the chat.
I unlocked a new emote, and it said, "Would you like to share your new emote?" And I was like, "Okay." And that's the
it's just the person doing the Kirby suck in animation, just consume food.
So yeah, you were talking about D&D. Actually, I
Yes.
I have popped in a few times, and I'll be honest, I was never quite able to grasp what was happening. But that's what
I've had a
happens
couple.
when you jump in the middle of something like that.
I've had one other person ask me what the heck I was doing with Dungeons and Dragons, or what my campaign that I run every other Saturday is, and the best way to, pardon me, best way to answer that is it's pirates in space.
Oh, wait, like Treasure Planet?
Yeah, kind of actually.
Yeah,
All the Spelljammer vessels are pretty much of that same kind of vein and variety.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Like, I'll be honest. I've played D&D since I was a wee floppy disk, little young calculator. But I have never played a setting ever. So it's all just whoever made the thing up at the time, all homebrew. So
That is part of the liberty, the freedom that I have with running something that's inside the Astral Sea, is that it can be anywhere.
okay.
Also, just kind of looking over at your screen, can can everybody hear Sylveon? I noticed the desktop audio is muted, or
Oh
you
no.
okay? Oh, okay. I saw for a quick second. I was concerned as I saw that muted. I was like, oh no, who can they not hear? Shit.
Yeah, she can see all of my audio levels and stuff. So I have my microphone set. The
I am
desktop
inside your walls.
desktop audio is the audio that I hear in my headphones, and it's muted so that people don't hear everything that I hear in case I get like a pop-up notification by
Oh.
something.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Sorry. I was a little confused.
No, you're perfectly fine.
Okay. What was it? What was I saying?
D&D settings.
Astral Sea. The best thing about the Astral Sea is that it can be anywhere. You can go to any setting because it's technically its own respective star system.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Yeah. So is it like somebody told me the Githyanki from Baldur's Gate. They're like
They live in
space
the Astral Sea.
pirates, and
Yes. I would say they're space raiders more than they are pirates. The ones that rebel from Vlaakith are buccaneers and pirates, but most of them are just out for two things: take your stuff, and kill mind flayers.
fair. Actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever. They're in that group of like D&D things that I just never used because they seemed very tied to like a set setting. Now that I'm thinking about it.
What's funny is about a Githyanki is they actually can be pretty much anywhere in any setting that you want them to be, because nothing ages in the Astral Sea. So if they were to have more troops, if they wanted to have their population continue to grow, they'd have to go to a different material plane, raise them up, have them kill their first mind flayer, then bring them over to Tunarath, the city of the Githyanki.
Actually, I do have a D&D question for you.
Sure, what's up?
How do you feel about the fact that it shares a universe with Magic the Gathering now?
That just made my job harder.
Doesn't that technically imply that Fallout is also in the D&D universe?
Huh.
And I guess
Wait, why would Fallout be part of the Magic the Gathering universe if we want to go by the same vein, because they made Magic the Gathering cards for Doctor Who and Lord of the Rings, that they would also be there? God forbid also the Transformers.
and Fortnite.
And Warhammer.
Wait, does the Warhammer one come out yet? In Final Fantasy soon.
There's a couple of commander cards that are based off of Warhammer 40k.
Okay. Yeah, I just was wondering because it was just like technically now you have to consider like, oh yeah, what planeswalkers could just like be coming through and turning people into cards or whatever Magic's laws are for that.
See, I don't try to focus on like some of the big lore stuff that happens in Magic the Gathering and I want you to know that I did spend a good amount of my life to understand the lore and story of Magic the Gathering, because I wanted to figure out what killed my favorite plane, the planet of metal, this named Mirrodin.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Isn't that where
And
the like contagious robot people are from?
the Phyrexians, the new Phyrexians come from there, but the original oil that came from the original Phyrexia that was having just like a century-long feud with Dominaria, one of the first few planes that Magic the Gathering ever went over in its early incarnations.
Hmm. TNT
I
to
know now too much.
D&D to Magic the Gathering to Fortnite to 40k Power Watch. Wait, yeah, that means Power Watch Simulator is canon in D&D. Yeah,
If we're gonna go with the 40k to Power Wash, also would probably make World of Warships also part of the Magic the Gathering universe, because there's a couple Warhammer ships in World of Warships.
wait, does that make Shrek canon to D&D?
Oh God.
Actually, I guess does Power Washing count? The Power Wash Simulator count as lore?
Well, let's just say, I think when it comes to the Magic the Gathering, making a bunch of like, um, well, it's still all Wizards. When they were making all their different like collab cards, I don't think they were planning on having it be part of their lore. I think I can't be wrong on that, but I focus a lot on Magic the Gathering's lore, and I focus a lot on Dungeons and Dragons lore, and I'm trying to find a middle for all of them when it comes to writing my own stories for my own settings, because now I have too much that can be like dropped, and like this happened at this place at this time.
You know,
And everybody's gonna be like, "What? That
that's
makes no
fair.
sense."
I do kind of wish they would make more Magic the Gathering settings as D&D books, though. Like, specifically, I want Ixaline. I want Aztec
yeah.
elves and vampire conquistadors and monkey goblins.
Nobody ever expects the Vampire Inquisition, if I'm gonna be honest.
Right? Doesn't that just sound awesome as like a D&D setting? I want that. But yeah,
Like,
oh, go on.
no, go ahead. I was about to go on a tangent there.
No, tangent away.
No. I'm good. I've played through a decent amount of their settings before I dropped off after like heckin' Wizards started dabbling in AI. I'm just like, you are no longer taking my money.
Yeah, I'm not really the biggest fan of some of the directions Wizards has been going.
I stopped buying books for them, and I'm starting to buy supplemental books from people who really care about the hobby.
I moved on to Pathfinder,
Fair enough.
but I'm so used to calling just all tabletop RPGs D&D. So, they're not Dungeons and Dragons, but they're all D&D. To a little extent. So, I'm just like, yeah, let's play D&D. Brings out Pathfinder book. Call of Cthulhu, something.
Zyber with the confused emotes. Did I lose you? This is not going to be on the test, I can assure you. Oh my god, if I quizzed people on Dungeons and Dragons lore, people would be like, Honestly,
that would be kind of a fun idea. Just be like, make it like a game show.
Oh man, one of the things I want to get back into doing at some point, one of my own streams, is like making stat blocks on stream so people can kind of see my process on doing that. The only problem is my friends also watch this, and most of my friends play in my games, so I can't really do that.
That fair. That sounds about right. Just like, haha, do not watch my stream today. It will be spoilers. Everyone logs in, just lurks to be like,
Yeah.
I need to be ready. I know that
Listen.
because like when I used to DM all the time, I had to take my notebook with me. I'm like, I can't leave this here for you guys. Take a bathroom break. The next puzzle they solve on their first try, and I'm like,
Shit.
I know exactly what you guys did. One of you.
But yeah, on the subject of like Magic the Gathering lore and into D&D, I saw that as a way to, because usually what I do is I usually when I'm playing, I am the dungeon mistress, or the game mistress if you want to be pedantic.
Hmm.
I know enough about the different planes that with all the tools I have available, and I have a shelf full of books, I could take my players to any of those planes of existence if we wanted to, be it Zendikar, Innistrad, Kamigawa.
Hmm.
I really want to take them to Kamigawa.
I Kamigawa is a fun setting. Are you gonna do the cyberpunk one, or are you gonna do like the OG like samurai one?
Well, if anything, I would be following it to what its current like time period is, so it would be very cyberpunky.
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
I think, I think a few of my friends would also enjoy New Capenna.
I actually don't know what that one is. Actually,
It's fantasy. It's fantasy Chicago.
Chicago. Okay. Wait, is that the like the like Prohibition era one, like
Mm-hmm.
Mafia one?
Yeah.
Oh, that one looked really cool. I got into the online D and or not D&D, online Magic the Gathering for a little while, and I uh, I actually got a bunch
Fantasy
of
Costco. Thank
fantasy
you, a
Costco.
Braveful.
But yeah, I got into online Magic for a little bit, and I got a bunch of codes that like gave you free promotional things from stores.
Oh hell yeah!
And I got like a full set of like the Mafia stuff, and I was just like, I'm like, this doesn't feel like Magic the Gathering, throwing out dragons in my like zoot suit. Like,
You raise a good point.
I'm like, maybe if this was like, maybe if I got the cards, but I just got like the arena and then the card backs and then like the like skin for my profile, and it was all just like an orc in a zoot suit and like all like high rises and just like, yeah,
Boss says we can't have you over here, so we're gonna have to crop you out.
I'm playing sheep.
Hope you like your concrete shoes.
But
A
yeah,
horde of suits. Yeah.
just the WOG meeting. They all just show
Oh
up in like
god.
zoots. They all just show up in like pinstripe suits and just like, so what's our business today? Like,
Man, I'm debating on what my next army of fucking Warhammer models to actually start collecting next. It's either going to be the Imperial agents or orcs. Ah, hell.
I can think
That's
of.
another rabbit hole I wish I didn't find myself in, but it's just it's like it's too tantalizing. Ah.
I could just. I'm
uh
stuck on the idea of like the Warhammer orcs, but it's just a group of them who like heard something about businesses and now are trying to start a business.
no, it's like they be the biggest around and they hear about big business, so they want to be the big business.
Yeah, we got it. Like no one can beat like the corporations, so they form the Orc Corporation. It's just
We
like
call ourselves the Orc Corp.
it's like you buy our stuff, or you'll get a right beating on it.
No, this is not Fortnite. This is a chat. This is a sell of a night, if anything.
The Style of the Night. Do, 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 do. I never actually got that theme song commissioned. I came up with that like 3 months ago, and I have no idea. I don't know if that's even like a free song I can take.
Mm.
Think I might have like ripped off like House of Mouse or something, like an old cartoon that like had that sort of vibe.
A fellow must paint the pretty figures. I'm gonna try to paint all the Tau that I have. I eventually want to go to my local store, bring these pretty pink little bastards in, and just have everybody go, "Why? Why would you do this?"
I really want to get into Warhammer, but it's so expensive.
It is. I I'm trying my best not to put myself into a hole. It's very easy.
I feel that. What armies do you run?
I am currently building the Tau Empire because I love myself some underdogs. I love ever since hearing a bit more about the 40k stuff, I learned that people hate the Tau because of memes and then hate the Tau because of their shooting. So I was like,
Hmm?
so nobody plays them for these reasons, and they're naive and want to actually make a difference. Sure, I'll take them.
You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, probably like the best solution for Warhammer, because you could probably get like them cheaper if they're the unpopular faction.
Also, I notice I'm a bit blurry on the stream, but there's nothing else we could do because we're streaming me from Discord.
I mean, if you want to readjust size, I can maybe make you a little bit less blurry,
What? Ah,
but then you'd have to readjust your size slightly.
ah!
Almost
Where
like
am I?
I I have like I have looked at the armies a little bit, and I think if I was to get into Warhammer, I'd want to do Necrons probably. I love the orcs, but
I can see it. I can see it.
because they're like we're robots and we fought and killed our own gods and are out to kill all the gods with the powers of robots. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Gage, I just saw your message on that. Like, okay, so that's kind of somewhat what I'm doing is I'm saving all of my spare bits for orcs whenever I get orcs, so they can just have a bunch of random crap that they can use.
That's actually kind of amazing. Yeah, either that or I would do squats because I like dwarves and just be all like go all in on like Deep Rock Galactic vibes.
My girlfriend Nox Nova also loves the League of Votan. Just like they're a bunch of angry dwarves, and they're like, "All right, that's it. You're going in the book." Writes name.
Yeah,
The Book of Grudges.
dwarves are always my favorite in like every fiction that they show up in. Like I don't know why. Like dwarves are always like top tier. I don't think I can think of a single universe where the dwarves aren't like amazing. If they're included. I'm okay, maybe Elder Scrolls. The dwarves are kind of in Elder Scrolls, but everything else,
Yeah, fair.
and they're only because they're not alive anymore. They have a bunch of other cool things where they're like, oh yeah, we decided that we could become a god with the power of song. That's Elder Scrolls lore.
I'm just realizing that I have a problem when it comes to like figuring out stuff when I'm wanting like getting into a fixation. Is I start deep diving into their lore and then I want to like learn like to play them and like respect them a bit more. That's me with D&D, that was me with Magic the Gathering, and now here I am with 40k and I'm over just like I have a problem. Help.
So it is probably not a good idea for me to try to pitch you on getting into HeroScape then.
I used to play that.
Oh,
Granted, I played alone.
That is fair. I only had one other friend who ever had the game, so I played it like twice. Ever.
I think I still have my old original figures somewhere. They're sparse, but like I still have some of them. They're neat. I liked the aliens. I also thought it was funny that there were these Men in Black FBI agents in there too.
I like the cyborg gorillas.
They had what now?
Yeah, no, one of the starting armies was cyborg gorillas. So.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, they just revived the franchise. That's the only reason I brought them back, because I'm always ranting about how much I want them to. I was wanting them to bring it back, and then they did, and then I don't have money to get the stuff, so I'm like, no, not like this.
I'm actually getting close to actually finishing building my little army. I have got a couple more boxes, and I'm going to be building them and painting them very slowly. I have a problem when it comes to art. I am impatient.
That
and I'm
is
trying to work on slowing myself down.
honestly, that's my problem with art in general. Like I'm terrible about that, so I can really relate.
Uh, um, but I've recently also, along with these boxes, I purchased some custom parts, so I'm going to see how they all look, shave them down if I need to, and then just start building. I have already like 3 just like sitting on my desk that I just built today because some of the custom parts came in. So now 3 of my units have devil heads instead of Tau heads. I'm building
Nice.
auxiliaries.
It's awesome. Um, so I'm. That's a dumb question. I know enough about Warhammer not to ask that. I was gonna say, are you doing the fantasy one or the sci-fi one? And then I'm like, wait, no, it's the sci-fi one is the only one with Tau, Sal.
Yeah, did you know that they also have like they now have just like Warhammer Age of Heresy, Age of Sigmar, like and then just 40k. So like pre-heresy, the Age of Heresy or pre-heresy, whatever it is like when like the Primarchs for the Imperium of Man just were like, I think demons are neat. Uh, and then Age of Sigmar is like where you get like the stuff from Vermintide.
Okay. I think the only one I'm really familiar with the medieval one is probably Age of Sigmar. And I'm mostly familiar with stuff like the Skaven. Kind of surprised they never brought the Skaven to the sci-fi setting, actually.
There's a YouTube channel I started watching as I started like getting into building these a bit more adamantly, and one guest like kit bashed a bunch of Skaven and the Leagues of Votan together to make rat dwarves.
Hi.
It was the funniest thing. They are here for cheese and grudges. Yes, yes.
Okay, actually, you know what the craziest thing about Warhammer lore that I do know?
What's that?
They have cat girls. And they've never gotten an
Oh
army unit, but in
yeah.
the lore, there is a planet of cat girls as a part of the Imperium of Man.
I find this funny that you mentioned that because some of the custom heads that I purchased have like cat ears or like really big like fox ears, and I plan on building a couple of my Pathfinders and strike teams to be those characters. So probably whatever members of this auxiliary pretty much probably came from like a planet that was taken over by the Tau that was originally part of the Imperium.
Awesome. So you can have like, wait, are the tower like? I think aren't they like kind of Japanese inspired?
The joke about them is that they're space weeaboo communists? Question mark?
Okay, okay.
They're all for the greater good, and they're all for like self accomplishment, but also it has to be like to help and benefit everything in their society. And anybody who joins into their society is pretty much among them in that regard, be they Tau, Kroot, Vespid, or whatever they bring in with them. Did you know that they also call the humans that join their ranks Guevesa?
I think I might have read that in one of my Wikipedia like dives on Warhammer. I don't know if that word would have stuck in my brain, but yeah, okay.
You know what the Imperial calls those people who join the Tau?
Traitors.
Traitors.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like Warhammer lore is super interesting. I want like part of me wants to know more, but it's one of those things that everyone I know who's into Warhammer are like really into Warhammer, and I'm like, do I need another like hyper fixation?
That's the problem. That is always the problem when it comes to like new hobbies and shit, especially with me. Also, just like when it comes to 40k, don't expect to find somebody who's actually the good guys. There's no good guys here. Even the tower kind of bad. They're like, okay, join us. If you say no, it's the guns with you. Then you'll join us that way.
Yeah, no, like from what I've heard, Warhammer is not about picking who you think is right, or it's who you think is coolest.
Yeah. And I happen to be a weeb, so give me the weebs.
All right. I like robots, so I'm gonna do the zombie robots. if I ever get into that game.
I've seen some gameplay of Necrons face against others, and I'm just like, they could just reanimate whenever. How are they not busted?
I mean, their lore says they killed multiple gods, so
Yeah, they beat up the gods that took their made them immortal and turned them into the metallic husks. They just like they bided their time, waited for those gods to fight each other, and went, now kill them now.
yeah. I mean, like, I just don't like. I feel like they're the ones who get to win. From everything that I've heard about the lore, they're the ones who win. So I'm like, I'll pick them. Let's, robots.
Yeah.
But,
I agree. Necrons are definitely cool. Mechanist 2? I need to play this the first one if that is the case.
Wait, should I be like? Wait, are the Warhammer?
They
games
do have
good?
Some of them are. Necrons play the long game. Yes, they do.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. I will potentially look into whatever Warhammer game involves the Necrons. That sounds fun.
I have been told that there is a game that involved the Tau in some regard. I want to play that because I like my little blue beauties.
Yeah, I've seen stuff with them. Not a ton though. I mostly go with whatever I hear people like. Most of my exposure to Warhammer is like secondhand from usually other VTubers talking about it.
I've noticed that there's a decent few VTubers that are VTubers that are getting into Warhammer, and I'm over here just like, I'm not alone. Yay!
Like, just off the top of my head, we have Matara Khan in Project Melody from V Shoujo into it, and Takahata. So,
Okay, I knew about Takahata being in it way before he actually became a VTuber. He told me about. I remember watching Unexpectables and him talking about his old Corn army. Corn army.
Corn Army.
Corn.
Oh my god. Okay, wait. So, side note, back to D&D kind of. Have you ever watched D20?
Dimension 20?
Yeah.
I have not. I've seen clips.
In their first season, they apparently have an army of corn elementals. And they actually released those as like a custom like group of like figures you could buy at one point for like a limited time thing. And I still think that is hilarious.
Are we talking about like corn on the cob corn, or are we
Yes.
talking about blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne kind of corn?
No, corn is in like corn on the cob, popcorn, creamed corn.
That is amazing.
I don't think they're technically like elementals. Like there's like the cosmological element of corn, but like they are some kind of elemental that takes the form of corn because of how they were summoned. And I just
Oh my god, I can imagine that their vulnerability is to fire. But then they just become a different type of elemental at that point.
They've switched elements from water to air, and now they're popcorn elementals.
Yeah.
Tornadoes of popcorn now.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah, just saying corn just made me think of that. Armies of corn. The corn elementals from D20 for Dimension 20. Are you a fan of those kind of shows?
I mentioned one that I watched. I watched for a good bit for a while. The Unexpectables. I recently started just kind of watching here and there Legends of Evantris.
I like that. I like them.
I enjoy Mikey's was it, what's his name? Chuckles the Clown, his voice when he does that, because it's literally just King Candy as an impression. Have some candy.
Have some candy. Yeah. Actually, okay, that made me think of another good topic. You do a lot of voices, and you're like an aspiring voice actress.
Yes. I have done a couple short films, specifically with my father in 48-hour film festivals for Sacramento, actually.
Ooh, that sounds really cool.
Yes, I do voices.
Do you wanna hear one? I could do a good few voices if you want to hear it.
That's great. Yeah, I've actually talked about your Alucard impression on stream before. That's part of why I brought that up. Because I did my perfect Cell voice, and then I immediately had people like, "Can you do Alucard?" And I'm like, "No."
Ah, yes, if you can do a perfect Cell voice, you can pretty much just start leaning into doing Alucard's voice just a little bit. Just give him a bit of an accent, if anything.
I'm just like, I didn't practice it, so like getting immediately like, do Alucard now, and I'm like, I have to sit and like work on it, and you don't want to hear the in between parts of doing voices.
Yeah, pretty much Novella's got it. Why, thank you.
Yeah. So
What is it? Takahata's like Cell and Alucard are pretty much sitting on the same kind of register for him. He's practically just talking. But like he did spend some time just like figuring out what kind of voice to do for Alucard. Like it's it's funny hearing that it's an impression of somebody else's impression of the Japanese voice.
I mean, like some of his other voices that he does are just like
Taco.
like his imperfect Cell, like the Cell first form. He's just like, this is my impression of somebody else's impression of Zorak from Space Ghost Coast to Coast, which is
Want to see me drink this guy?
Yeah, and he's like, and that's an impression of Zorak from the original Space Ghost. It's like 5 levels.
That's so good. I have heard that that voice hurts him so much to do, but it's so good.
It was so good. I can kind of do that one, but I'm not gonna do that because I like my vocal cards.
Oh, so I'm a monster of all people. Oh, that is just embarrassing. That's not even the right hole.
Sorry, I'll stop.
Hello, friend.
Right?
Thought about like actually like out of all my friends and like people I know, I think you really like. Have you ever thought about like applying for like voice acting roles and stuff?
Yes, I've tried a couple of times, but I keep chickening out. I'm a little nervous, a little anxious. I get so close and then I just go, no.
That's fair. I actually got casted in something once.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then the project got canceled.
Shit.
But yeah, I got canceled for like a YouTube like animated series that somebody was trying to do. It's a robot, ironically enough.
Hey, typecast.
Yeah, it's before I was a VTuber too, is the really funny part. So
that's how it goes.
Yeah. But yeah, what? Wanna talk about voice stuff at all?
Sure. A lot of what oh dear. Oh blah, hold on.
Hydrate.
Water is good, yes.
Sorry, I needed to clear my throat.
You're okay.
A lot of the voices I like doing and have learned how to do is just me listening to somebody else and just doing an impression. But outside of that, it's just I try my best to breathe whatever life I can into the voices that I do, and sometimes they just kind of gain their own life. Actually, my favorite one that I can bring up as an example is this squeaky voice I affectionately call Yukidama, which I have used for this vocal synth thing called Utao.
Back in 2013, I learned I could do this voice when I went to pick something up off the floor. And I was like, that sounds cool. So I went and tried practicing talking with that voice, just slowly bringing myself up to like standing upright. And here we are.
What does that make me think of? There is like there's like a specific character, and I can like I can almost picture them in my head every time you do it, and it's just like so far I don't ever get closer to thinking of who that character is.
Honestly, when the day that we were traveling through TwitchCon and just hearing Mouse in the background just going, I couldn't help but hear myself doing it too, just in a similar tone. Just
Oh, the audio cut you off, the CRISPR.
Shit! I guess I'll have to turn it off. Hi!
Yeah, we actually hung out in person at TwitchCon,
Yeah.
which
Hi.
uh yeah. Uh, what? Brain. Anyway, so TwitchCon. I had a thing. Oh my god. Brain. Yes. So are you going this year? Do you have any plans for like going to
I
TwitchCon
want
again?
to try. I want to try, but I have a couple things I need to do first. Like, I need to work. I need to do as much as I can with work and raise up money for me to do that. But for right now, I am a maybe.
That's fair. That's kind of where I actually am with TwitchCon for this year, if I'm being honest. But it's always
That's fair.
so much fun. I went
Yeah.
3 years in a row, so it's like now I feel like I have to. I'm like, you went too many years in a row. You can't not go now.
You are contractually obligated to go.
Like, yeah.
Syl, what is it? Syl would be upset. I know this. They're going to bring it up every single time if you don't.
Still is upset I didn't go to the convention that they said I wouldn't go to from the start.
You mean the one that they're going to right now?
Yeah, the convention that she is currently at on the opposite side of the continent. She is upset at me for not being able to afford to do that randomly.
We're unfortunately not all made of money.
No, I'm like,
Well.
I am like routinely poor. All my money goes to paying this studio complex on the edge of V City.
Oh, I get that. Me at the place of Sigil, I'd have to make sure that my tithes are paid with around Sigil, so I can just keep my campground in the same place.
You think it'd be easier to afford rent in a place like these?
Nobody expects the costs.
Yeah, Vion Corp does not give me enough of a budget. It's like
The Modrons that help me out are not equipped with handling things outside of the campgrounds, so I can't expect them to do much of anything. So I have to hire adventurers.
there. Very.
So that's more of a cost that I have to put in.
I just immediately made me think of do you put when you hire adventurers, do you put you go with the job board notice, or do you just stand outside with an exclamation point?
Yes, both. Well, not with an exclamation point. I'm just holding up a sign that says, "Over here, have quests."
Yeah, just billboard above your head, like the people at the airports with names, just like quests here.
If that doesn't work, I just flip it over and it says "Cute Cambions in your area."
Attractive demons closer than you think.
Hmm.
Although that kind of leads to another question I thought would be interesting. Tell me about your lore. You're the first guest we've had that I'm pretty sure actually has lore.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Throwing light shade at Pokey and Cell.
What? Oh, come on. Heck, I'm late. Hi. Welcome on in. Let's see. What could I share? Because if I'm going to be saying this in character, there's a lot of things that this little girl doesn't actually know but was told of later down the line. I'm technically from the material plane of Eberron. So think very arcane punk. There are a lot of working kind of machines and such.
Okay.
My parents are a hobgoblin and a dwarf. The father was a dwarf, a paladin of old ways, and the mother was a martial artist.
Mhm.
They are both also part of a Dionysian-like cult of Grazd. And in one of these rituals to Grazd, things happened, and here I am.
Who is Graz?
The demon lord of pleasure and pain.
Okay. Got it.
A lot because I don't sport a tail and don't sport wings. A lot of people have assumed that I am a tiefling. Tieflings can't plane shift though. They'd have to be like high-leveled wizards off the bat.
Fair.
Sounds like a jolly demon lord for sure. He can be. I like to call him Uncle Grazd because I'm technically not one of his spawn. I was born from a ritual.
I mean, on the bright side of being tiefling passing, you're probably more welcome in the mortal planes.
You'd think that, but still there's a lot of different planes that are very skeptic about demons and devils in general. So even if they say like, oh, it's a tiefling, they're just like, stay away, we got pitchforks and torches with your name on it. It's like, first of all, those won't do anything against me, but I can see why you're upset.
It's just like, hey, I don't have to worry about level 5 racism. Instead, I only have to deal with level 4 racism.
The Mao, yeah. But outside of that, after I would say by the time I got around to like say my 20s, I decided to venture out and see what are places that I could go to. Started learning about Ravnica, Theros, Faerun, Greyhawk, and a couple other material planes, and actually started collecting maps about around the areas. After a while, I learned that Sigil existed and wanted to see what that was all about, and it just opened up so many doors. It's called the City of Doors for a reason. And I never left. I just started setting up shop by the Outlands near the mountainside that Sigil kind of rests its laurels on. And now I welcome in any visitor who wants to share stories, because that's the best way for me to get lore, is just to learn what everybody else is wanting to talk about. Sometimes I get repeats, but it's always a fun treat.
Now, out of character question, is Sigil and the City of Doors, are those original creations, or are those from a D&D setting?
That is D&D lore. That is one of the that best way to describe it is Sigil is in between all of the outer planes. Anybody could go over to it and then branch out and go to try to see if they could go into one of the many positive, negative, or even neutral planes.
Okay. Another question. This one is, I guess, more in character. I just wanted to make sure I was on the same page without the previous one. But
Okay.
Can you do like you get high enough level, do you get to do like the race? If you get take enough levels in your race, like the Lizardborn or the Dragonborn, do you get to gain more demon traits?
You know, I haven't tried actually. That's not. I don't see that tech tree. I'm technically an NPC. If you want to be that kind of pedantic.
I mean, they never really go into it in like the D&D lore. I mean, technically, it could all just be like an isekai anime, and everyone else can pull up their menus when they just don't talk about it because it's normal.
They have those?
I mean, some planes do.
You
don't have a tech tree?
No.
Yeah, no.
All I know is that my head is made out of a mixtures of metals, silver and lead, and the rest of my bone structure is silvered. So I could go toe to toe with a werewolf, and I'd probably bring it down to its knees. Take that as you will.
Yo, metal bones. We have so much in common.
I mean, so another little lore bit. You see my horns? Those metal caps. Mm-hmm. That's not metal caps that I put on top of my horns. That's exposed bone.
Oh wait. Oh, that makes sense. It's like, and then the red part for the rest of the horns is like velvet for deer.
Yeah, this is it's skin. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because like, isn't the skin on? Is that for all horned creatures, or is that just deer? I'm not a biologist. Like, isn't it technically called velvet?
I don't know.
Because like,
I am not a biologist.
fair enough. No biologists. Do you have a biologist in chat? Can someone answer that question for me? I'm actually curious now. Do cows have like horn velvet, or like goats, or other creatures with horns? Anyone has an answer to that? I'd appreciate that. Save me googling it later. Um. Anyway, yeah. So yeah.
Deer only. I see. Thank
Deer
you,
only?
Zyber.
Thank you. So okay, well, I don't know, I think it sounds nicer to be like, yeah, it's velvet.
I cut away at the flesh and to expose the horns because I wanted it to be a little artistic. Hurt like hell. No pun intended.
I mean, I figure it's like a piercing.
Kind of. Granted, you would never see me actually put any kind of piercings on or tattoos on my body, except the branding. That just kind of came with the territory, unfortunately.
I mean, you at least have the option for that. It's kind of, tattoo guns don't really work on steel.
No, I mean, all they'd have to take was just like a hot iron and just go.
I guess I could just spray paint it and it would stay on.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But like, you know,
Comes at you with a permanent marker.
No, I'd have to go get like a steel wool if I wanted to get rid of that. That'd be terrible.
Then your face would be abrasive. No.
Just like a shiny gray spot that's like metal.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Shit.
Someone drew on me with a marker.
Novella got at me with the marker again.
Just have to go
That
and get
bitch.
But yeah, so actually I have another question for I'll be honest, so as far as like tabletop games go, I know you love D&D. Have you ever played any other tabletop games?
I have played Pathfinder before. I didn't play much of it, mind you, but it's no different from when I was playing. It doesn't feel any different truly from when I was playing when I first started playing Dungeons and Dragons, if I'm going to be honest. It feels like Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition in some areas. I'm just glad they dropped to hit armor class 0. That was not fun to understand. It's still not fun to understand now.
I learned D&D with Thaco, and like, so to me it makes perfect sense. So like, I'm like the opposite of everybody else on that one, where I'm like, Thaco, perfect.
Yeah, if you have an armor class and a negatives, you couldn't be hit. For those who do not know what we're talking about.
I mean, fair. I like some other stuff with 2nd edition, like the fact that every single, if you don't have it in your inventory, you don't have it. Like,
yeah.
And that includes clothing. So, like, if you forgot to put clothing in your equipment, you're naked.
Yeah. That probably explains why I still write down what's in my background inventory.
Yeah, because like if you go to 3rd edition, it's just like you can just write type of clothing and then that's it. And technically a certain level is assumed for your class anyway. But like that's just something that I always just liked about not Pathfinder 2nd edition is just like you're like if you have a belt, you have to have it in your inventory because technically you could use it for something else.
Technically, yes.
So just
You're technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Yeah. Which edition of D&D did you learn on?
I started with 2nd edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, as I said before, and then this was back when I was, say, a sophomore in high school, out of character, and then it got dropped because the dungeon master was a piece of shit. and everybody kind of just like stopped playing it. Granted, the only people who were playing it was myself, my twin brother, my father, and my cousin. And part of it was just our my father got busy, and then come around to like when I start college back in like or go back into college around like 2018 2019, I find a group of people playing Dungeons and Dragons. I assimilated myself into that group, became really good friends with them, and started running D&D for them. In 5th edition, I didn't start as a player when I started this. I went straight as a dungeon master. I only had one book, and it was the DM's guide. I needed more, and over the time over the time of me playing as a dungeon master, I started acquiring the rest of the books, primarily to give my players all the options that they can to make their characters and whatnot, so they didn't have to go out and go get it for themselves.
Okay.
And now I'm playing online with all my friends across the globe, and it's a moot point.
Fun. I mean, I guess nowadays it's pretty easy to just look it all up just
Correct.
online.
Yes, but there's something about having the books on hand, just being able to flip through the novels themselves, and just I enjoy that. It's part of the reason why that I may have PDFs and shit, but I will always print them and put them into binders so I can have a physical copy for me to use.
You know what? I feel that. I find it really overwhelming to try to, like, I used to just read the, like, D&D books when I had the physical books, and, like, I got the PDF for Cyberpunk recently,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, I want to learn how to play the Cyberpunk game, because,
I would love to learn that too.
Yeah, because it came free with Cyberpunk the game, so I'm like...
Wait, what, really?
Yeah, it's one of the bonus features.
Oh, shit!
It's not the newest one, it's the 2005 version.
I see.
It'd be equivalent of them giving you, like, a 3rd edition manual during the middle of 5th edition for some reason.
Oh my god, you're reminding me of what I did with Warhammer, because I wanted to learn the Tau in all their glory. I got their codex, but it was for the wrong edition. I got it for 9th. We're in 10th. Shit. So now I have 2 copies for the Tau codex. One that's correct, the other that is outdated.
I feel like that is like a thing that kind of is bad about some of these tabletop games with having like editions.
Yeah.
Is that like you're like inevitably gonna have a bunch of people coming in on like 5th edition and they're buying 4th edition books because they're still on sale places.
I just remembered something silly about like multiverse stuff. Remind me to send you a picture of the little model I made of Novella as a Tau. I started calling it Tauvella, which opened up the doors of just like different multiverse versions of myself.
Yo.
This one being a like spawn of Slaanesh in this case.
I actually kind of love that. That's amazing. I'm a big fan of like the multiverse stuff with VTubing. If you're just like, I have like a vague theme and we're just gonna do like a variant of it and keep the character so that I can have a cool new design beyond, like, you know what I mean? We're gonna drop part of the theme to go in a different direction for...
Yeah. I get you.
But yeah.
Orc Vela? I don't know if there would ever be an Orc Vela. I feel like at least it is a constant that Novella is technically in some degree either a devil or a demon to a degree.
I just like my brain just ran through a bunch of demon versions of you, like variant versions, just like anyway.
You reminded me of something when I was actually making the concepts for little old me.
Mm-hmm.
One of the demon types that I was going to actually go for was possibly a Magic the Gathering demon known as the Eater of Hope, which has these interesting like arched horns.
Okay. Neat.
I decided to go against it because it was too complicated.
Demon of Hope. Wait,
Eater of Hope.
Eater of Hope. Okay. I was just like, the Demon of Hope sounds like that implies that hope is a sin of some sort, kind of.
Yeah, you have feasted on too much wishful thinking. You are going to sin.
Which sounds like something that could exist in Warhammer, if I'm being honest. Just like, you were too optimistic about the future. You have been corrupted irreparably. What?
The sin of hope. Yeah. You've been you heresy. You're being too optimistic. Go back to the mines with you.
30 lashes will solve your problem.
Oh my god. Shit.
The funny part is I also could see that just being like a made-up thing on like one colony, just to make one guy who's really annoying just like shut up.
Actually, thinking of the Orc Vela thing, if that was an actual, there is a D&D equivalent for like a demon orc. It's called like a Tanurik or a Tanaruk, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It is an orc demon. Like they are like half orc, half demon.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
I'd have to pull them. Like, part of me wants to like just like ruin the illusion real quick and grab my books because they're right here. Pull those guys monsters. Here we go.
I mean, saying orcs and demons together just makes me think of World of Warcraft. Because they're like
Sin of Hope is
intrinsically tied together in that setting.
the Sin of Hope is the worst honor to death core of Krieg. Ha 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 ha. That's a dig at the Astra Militarum if I ever saw one.
All right, now I'm like, man, maybe I should just just bite the bullet and get into Warhammer.
Enter at your own risk. Take your lead and take your time with it. As far as I understand, just like there is no rush. Just do what you want to do.
Maybe just read a book. Don't buy the armies just yet. That's pricey. Actually, just since you're looking through, I actually listen to audiobooks quite often while I'm doing my day-to-day job of patrolling V City. So
Not worth it. Too late, Kit Kat. Too late.
give me like a book on like the Necrons or something and like get educated. I already thought they were cool from reading their Wikipedia page, so
Where are my silly Billy orcs? I know they're in here somewhere. Kobolds.
you dare believe the world could be better with our god emperor on the brink of death? Heresy! But yeah,
Where the heck are me orky boys? Heck. Am I just scrolling wrong? I know they're around here because there's the giants.
I remembered a thing. I said like I started saying and then I stopped. But yeah, no, like when I got the Cyberpunk books, I wanted to read them, and I just find it so much harder to like read PDFs.
Yeah, that's why I print them.
They're so much better for like reference, like while you're playing, and you can just like Control F or whatever and be like, this thing, give me this table now. What's the damage on this spell? And then, but like just trying to read them casually for fun, it's just like, I don't know. It's like if you ever like read one of those news articles and they like, it's like or something on like Google, and it's just
Right.
like wall of text.
Where are they?
Orc Vela.
Orc Vela.
Would-
Yeah.
Would that be would you be green or would you be red still?
I'd probably be like a muddied orange.
Ah, that makes sense. I guess yeah. I guess green plus red would be like like orange or brown. Also, that's kind of like Christmas colors if you think about it. Orc Vela is secretly your Christmas costume.
Let's see. Tanarux. A Tanaruk is an abyssal creation infused with demonic power, half demon, half orc. It wanders the world in a murderous haze. Its dimly glowing red eyes, burning under thick horns like brows, and its tusks and claws are razor sharp. I could go on, but I'd be here all day.
There. Christmas orcs instead of Christmas elves. Every good child gets a crumpin.
So a demon of corn. If I were to make proper Talvella, she would probably sport a bit more purplish colors because I would have her be a spawn of Slanesh. To kind of keep in theme with the fact that she's technically a Cambion of Grazd.
Okay. Purple.
I guess to make the question fair, what would Vela be in every other 40k faction? Well, she would not be in the Imperium. She would be dead on sight.
I guess, I mean, like, if you wanted to, like, a boring answer, you could just be a human with horns, because there's a lot of mutants that are unaccommodated for that are welcome.
They definitely have a bunch of abhumans. Their Ogrins are still around.
As are the cat girls and the hobbits and a bunch of other ones.
We don't talk about those, apparently. Redacted.
Yeah, I'm positive that the cat girl one just got added to the Wikipedia to appease one guy. I think that might actually be the actual lore behind that.
No, I'm sure there'd be safety in the deepest depths of a space Hulk. So I'm someone's prize. I got it. No, I've heard worse. Sisters of Battle and close enough to a Slaneshi spawn. Yeah! I'm just like, they converted a demon properly, and it is all about that faith shit. I could see the Sisters of Battle doing something like that. The Sister Sororitas are fucking wild.
I need to know more Warhammer. It just sounds so cool. The more I hear about it, I'm like, ooh.
Would you believe that it was, like, months ago, I would not have known a single thing if it weren't for the fact that I wanted to go on a lore dive?
A month ago?
Months ago.
Oh,
like,
months
say,
ago.
like, about 4 or 5 months ago.
That's crazy, but you know, that's more believable than a single month. Just like,
Oh
I
my
know
God.
all of this obscure lore about Warhammer in a single.
And I still don't know a lot. I am base level knowledge. It's a Syl. Hi, Syl.
So, but yeah, good boy. Like I said, I think it's cool that you have like you have a very versatile theme compared to me. Like, I can't go and be like D&D styled if I wanted.
Honestly, with me trying to, like, this is me out of character talking about why I have the campgrounds. The reason why I chose to have campgrounds in the sigil is because it's opened to the entire multiverse. So anybody, anywhere could try to come and visit.
Nice.
Hi, Viper.
Viper. Boy. Okay, what? Brain.
Pardon me.
Question. What? You mean what?
I'm just like, I was waiting for your question.
No, I read the question what in all caps in chat. I'm like, what do you mean what? So yeah, God, my brain, ADHD. I've been off ADHD meds for like 3 months, and like I can really feel that now. Like the more time goes by, I'm like, ooh.
Want to know a fun fact about me?
Huh.
I have been on my medication since I was a freshman in high school.
Fair.
It just, Concerta just did not work out anymore. I actually started working better without it.
I mean, that's fair. Whatever, like, works for you. Like, that's kind of like the point of it in the end.
Apparently still met Master Chief. You met John Spartan? Oh, God. How are you alive? Did he need a weapon?
It just reminded me of when I was a kid and I was playing like one of the first Halos and I didn't realize you could I think I just didn't read the tiny text to trade weapons and I just shot like my men, the other like human army men for like their guns. And then I would have to fight all of the army guys.
I agree, Madam Mafia. Concerta is absolutely terrible. I was a zombie. Yeah, still met Mr. Halo, apparently. Ooh, nice.
So,
Anyway,
what games have you been playing lately? You've been doing anything interesting?
I have been working on 2 games, at least, for the sake of just like pastime. Warframe and Fortnite, of all things.
I see you on Warframe a lot.
I got my kick back into it, so I am definitely doing the grind. Actually, before we got into call, I just finished my mastery rank test to get to my next mastery rank. I am now 21. My account is legal enough to drink.
Nice. Rick Seeger, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Soviet Union. I hope you have a still of time. Thank you so much. But yeah, that's awesome. All I know about Warframe is it's the big booty robot game.
Well, that's because of what they did to Ember, and they have Wisp. They should have done the same thing to Rhino, because that man, that Warframe's got he's a big hulky guy.
I just remember that they used to do these pop-up ads on like every other website, and it was just one of the characters from Warframe from the back with like the butt resting at the bottom of the like ad in full view, and they had 3 or 4 different of them, and they're like, "Play Warframe today." And it was just like you could tell that what they're trying to do with those, and they were everywhere for like 2 or 3 years.
They really went wild when they made Ember's heirloom skin, which is just full ass, full view all the time. With Wisp, it's at least sometimes covered by her robes.
What is like Warframe about? Like, what's Warframe about?
I wish I could just like summarize into a few words, but it is expansive. If I could try to summarize it the best way possible, it is about you, Ateno, trying to just bring peace back to to our solar system, taking on enemies such as the Grineer, the Corpus, and other threats such as the Sentients or the Murmur.
Okay, so just like...
And also learning about yourself and the people that have called this solar system their home.
I'll be honest, just the phrase learning about yourself immediately just makes me think of like coming out as gay.
I mean, my friend Geminath has a quote that they do enjoy, and I feel like it is just like I could see anybody just hearing this quote and just their egg cracking ever so slightly. The character named the Lotus says this in one of the story missions: dream not of what you are, but of what you want to be.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that. Very eggy. I get it.
Somebody scrambled my eggs. Oh shit.
This is your brain.
But
this is your brain.
Yeah, that's as much as I could try to explain without spoiling anything. Is literally about your character learning about themselves, learning about the world, and fighting all the things that want to turn this solar system into a pile of ash.
Okay. Interesting. To toss back to tabletop games.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think. Trying to keep brain going. Anyway.
No, you're good.
Others aside from D&D and like Pathfinder, is there any other like tabletop like setting or anything that you would be like wanting to get into?
There's a one that both Gemineth and the Brave Fool, I've seen them a couple times just show up in the chat that have brought up to me that might pique my interest if I want to words. Anyway, the game they mentioned was called Lancer. It's a mech tabletop role-playing game.
Dude, I've heard of that one actually.
I'm planning on doing some more reading on it. I've seen some of the art for some of these mechs, and I'm like, oh, I want to learn more about this world. What is this?
It's awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard. Like I said, I'm like 80% sure I've like read a synopsis of that before. Like I remember, like I think it might even be in my like Amazon wish list because I have a whole wish list on Amazon dedicated to just TTRPGs I want to read. Will probably never play, but want to like read the book of.
And another one that I like found recently, also related to mechs. Since I started getting into the wargaming kind of stuff, I started seeing Grey Wolves, I think is what it's called. It is a apocalyptic mecha game, and you can pretty much bring any kind of mech model from any game really to represent your force. I find that cool.
Sounds awesome, actually. I'm like,
right?
I'm really into that idea.
So if there was any kind of other types of games that I would want to get my hands into, it's those two, and potentially maybe possibly stuff like Vampire Masquerade, Call of Cthulhu, and Cyberpunk.
I've played 2 out of 3 of those.
Cool.
Hilariously enough, though, when I played Vampire the Masquerade, I played it as a weird homebrew where it was like a multi-dimensional thing where people were going into anime. So
nice.
But so probably not the most legitimate version of Vampire the Masquerade ever. But
if I get the opportunity, I'm either going to be playing as an investigator and an individual, or go full vampire, and I just look at my GM and say, "Can I play a Nosferatu?" Why? I want to be ugly and have really big claws.
Want to know a funny thing about Vampire the Masquerade versus Call of Cthulhu?
What's that?
All of their skill checks are backwards. They're opposites.
Really?
So, with Vampire the Masquerade... Oh, wait, hold on. Is it... I can't remember which one's which now, all of a sudden. One, essentially, they're both on D100 systems instead of D20.
Okay.
And so, for like stuff like your skills, for one, you are lowering your score from 100 to numbers that you have to roll above. And then the other one is you're raising a number out of 100 that you need to get under.
Wild. Okay.
For most of your skills, there's a lot of things that you can just do freely anyway. So and then you have like ability scores, and they work a little bit differently, like your strength, charisma, etc. But yeah.
Okay.
And I just think it's interesting that Call of Cthulhu and Vampire the Masquerade are literally just opposite.
Kit Cott says Call of Cthulhu is rolling below the skill number.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah. Call of Cthulhu is you're raising a number out of 100 and rolling a D100 to try to get that to succeed. And then Vampire the Masquerade, you're lowering a number with 100 as your maximum, trying to get over it.
Huh.
Which, if you're playing both at the same time, is incredibly confusing. I know from experience.
Heck. Wow, okay.
Yeah. Call of Cthulhu, also, you have, like, no health. Everything kills you, basically, instantly.
I know, like, maybe 1 or 2 of my players are currently watching the stream at the current moment, but I have actually discussed this with them in during stream that they're lucky that I'm not applying the loyalty ability score and the sanity ability score to their character sheets, or even to their crew in the Siren's Lament. Because I am definitely moving forward going to be having to face against some cosmic horrors.
Cosmic horrors.
That's
Bring
one
out
thing
the-
that I don't think a lot of people really know about when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, is that there's a loyalty score that you can put onto NPCs, and there is a insanity score that can be placed onto players that needs to be checked on, just like any other ability scores, like say strength or constitution, charisma, and stuff like that, because
Interesting.
that can go low, and it has some very gnarly effects.
Yeah, I like if Call of Cthulhu's madness system is anything to go by, like I'm pretty sure they have the sanity system is pretty similar in D&D between the two. You just take sanity damage until it's emptied.
Yeah. When it comes to running Curse of Strahd in Dungeons and Dragons, it one of the things that's optional, but sometimes recommended, is to run the sanity system.
I have a module somewhere for D&D with a hunger system, but I've discovered that I tried to run it once and it was way too complicated.
If my players ever decided to go either with some of the rulings I have for like Ack Inc., I would have to pull up like ranks for their franchise, as it were, because that's Ack Inc.'s whole shtick. But also, if they wanted to go into like specific factions, I'd also have them to pay attention to their score with their renown score with the faction, to see if they will actually raise or lower depending on their actions.
Fair. I've never actually ran faction. I always like simplify the faction system whenever I've played, just because it's complicated.
I had a fun little crash course because I had the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, and there are 10 factions in there, and they keep keep an eye on that renown shit. My players actually did not encounter this because they left already the Rock of Brawl, but I was actually thinking about having representatives from, say, the ones that we know from Dungeons and Dragons and some of the ones that we do know from Magic the Gathering on the Rock of Brawl, that they could possibly meet and say, like, hey, do you want to join this faction? Cool.
Interesting. Oh, okay. Do you want to know what the worst tabletop RPG system I ever played was?
What's that?
Pokemon.
As a tabletop?
Yeah, there is a Pokemon tabletop game that is basically just a conversion of the games. And it is a nightmare to GM.
I bet. Huh.
Just imagine if every single player had 20 plus characters.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, they're just like, all
bum,
right,
bum.
Charmander. Okay, give me Charmander's character sheet, please. Wait. You know, they do like 2 attacks. Charmander, come back, go. Cyndaquil, and you're just like, okay, give me Cyndaquil's character sheet. And then you have to make character sheets for every Pokemon on the off chance they decide to catch it.
Pain.
Yeah, it was the only time where like I've played GM where I'm like, I'm 100% having a way worse time than everyone else here. That's the Dungeon Master.
Funny you mention this because I actually have a PDF of a supplemental book for Dungeons and Dragons called Heliana's Guide to Monster Hunting. It gives the options for pretty much bringing Monster Hunter into your campaigns, but there's also a new class in there that they made called the Tamer, which you pretty much become a Pokemon master, but a D&D instead.
That's awesome. I actually have that though. I have never read through it. It's one of the PDFs I have though.
honestly, one of the things I want to look forward to with running it, especially for future games, is just my players just killing a monster and just like, can we eat this? Yeah, but you have to salvage all the parts and bring it back over to somebody who could cook it or try to cook it yourselves. Okay, all right.
I just thought doing like a full Monster Hunter campaign would be really fun. Just like build up village by killing things.
Right.
Get good armor, sell body parts. Make sure you eat.
Did we stutter? Yes, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. Also, I'll send you over the PDF for the Pokemon one if you want to flip through it, because it is
Sure.
like I said, it's a nightmare. It's fun for everyone but for the dungeon master, and then for the dungeon master, it's a nightmare. But yeah, all right. I think it's time we probably start moving on to questions. Probably.
All right. I'll be
right.
scooting to look over this way. Hi.
Oh. All right. So, our first question from the audience. And for the record, if you would still like to submit a question, I'm going to leave it up for the rest of stream until we run out of time, and I will shut them off. But so, what is your favorite part about your character's lore? If there isn't any lore yet, then what's your favorite part of the design? Since we talked about your lore already, I guess both.
Honestly, it's a cop-out answer, but every little bit that I did try to write down for Novella's lore is pretty much my favorite bit. Because her being tied to Graz kind of leans on the idea that if I ever decide to bring her for like be a NPC for my own campaigns, or have that NPC be out there, the stat block be out there for anybody who wants to use her for their own campaigns, that there is a tie to Grazd, and Grazd could try to use Novella in some way or not. And then just designs, it was a collaborative effort, actually. I asked my friends for what would be good ideas to put down, and then specifically for her clothes, actually. But let's see. I actually did go through like a little table to roll up like some fun random stuff that Novella could have. It was very fun to design that she has metal bones. And one of the little what's the word? And having the her horns be exposed so you can see that she's actually got metal inside. I thought that was a fun little fun fact.
I will say, like, your horn caps are like my favorite part of your whole design.
Thank you.
They're very, very like recognizable and iconic to my brain.
What is it? They have, if you have seen, they both have swirls going in the opposite directions of each other. I made that. I pretty much wrote it in that she actually etched those in herself. So outside of just like exposing her horns, her bones, she etched into her bone those swirls.
Maybe it's because I just talked about Pokemon a minute ago. My brain immediately went to, does that make you weak against electricity?
No, technically. If anything, I'm pretty conductive. Ha 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 ha. I'll be in my
very
corner.
Conductive to this conversation. You know, I'm not really proud of that one. That did make me think. You know, the if you have like D&D stat blocks and stuff and are like happy to have people use your character, that gives you a very cool merch item possibility for the eventuality.
That it does.
Is you can have like a minifig and like a character card or something for people to use.
Yeah. So I actually took the standard Cambion stat block and started typing it out onto Homebrewery. Natural Grit,
Mhm.
and put it there, along with using some of my books to put on some of the differences that she happens to have. So like for those who are DMs in this chat, if you wanted to run Novella, take out her fly speed, take out her telepathy, take out the Campion's telepathy because she has a leaden skull. She can't read anybody's thoughts and nobody can read hers. Uh, she has silvered bones and her claws are registered weapons, and she can cast fire. Everything else is pretty much standard to the rest of the Cambion.
That means you can punch ghosts.
I can punch ghosts and humble werewolves.
You're get attacked by a werewolf. The werewolf dies. You did nothing.
It's self-defense.
Makes me think of the whole Doctor Doom thing with the like splinters of the cross put into my bones. I'm immune to vampires. They die on touch.
You are an agent of paradoxes. A brave fool. I think we're getting our characters mixed up. My D&D character from like your stuff is Kasumi. And from there she's an agent of paradoxes. I would say that Novella would be an unintentional agent of chaos.
Speaking of chaos, out of all the chaos gods, who do you believe has the highest chance to theoretically eventually win the great game? I assume this is Warhammer lore.
Yeah. Tzeentch. I think Tzeentch has the highest chance of actually winning all this, because no one can predict what Tzeentch is doing.
I don't know what that means.
The rest, the Eldari are trying to pretty much stop Slaanesh by any means necessary, so I don't think Slaanesh is going to be long for the world. Khorne is, as much as his is just like an ever like just like a very imposing force, it's easily taken down if nobody like fights and shit. And if you want the genuine answer, like considering it doesn't really matter because everything goes to this as it is, Nurgle wins in the end because everything dies.
Okay, so side note, you know what that just immediately made me like I just had a weird realization.
What's that?
Did you ever watch Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
Yes.
Is Nurgle like based off of the guy from like Nurgle from Billy and Mandy based off of Warhammer?
Who knows? Honestly, who knows? Because that guy was interesting.
I liked him in that. He was very like, I just want affection, please.
Nurgle scared the crap out of me as a kid, because like him going up to breaking the fourth wall, going up to the screen, and just like, and you will also be my friend, and just like you see his skeleton just like zap in and out as you could just imagine that he's like got you in his grasp, like
I think the one that freaked me out a lot more was his son Nurgle Jr. because
Nurgle
he actually murdered children and put them in snowmen in a kids show.
Nurgle Jr.'s a fucking menace.
Okay, wait, so this is a weird tangent. Did you ever read the like Snafu comics? I don't know if they're okay to bring up anymore. I don't know anything about their creator. I've heard weird things, but have you ever read those? Ever heard of them?
I don't know, but I do know that there's some fan comics out there that decided to make their own lore about Grim Adventures.
That's it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
And they added so many different things that they liked also into it, and I'm just over here now as an adult looking back at it, I'm just like, this is some weird shit.
Yeah, it is really weird, but like it just like I just still think about that comic sometimes. Well, the Grim Adventures one specifically, where they're just like, oh yeah, no, there's like 9 rings of hell and Grim runs limbo, and it's like a whole thing with like it's like all after the thing in like the distant future. It's something interesting.
So wild. It's so wild. Also, Spawn is here.
Spawn was just there. And then Aku from Samurai Jack and him from
And him.
Powerpuff Girls each ran their own like Circle of Hell too, and it was like a whole.
Or how they went to visit Jack Skellington in Halloween Town. Yeah, no,
He's-
that shit was fucking weird.
Yeah, I just something about that is just like something about it is like grade A, perfect for like my teenage brain when I would first read it, and then it's also like this is weird.
Like, no, as an adult, you're just look back and it's like, what was I on?
Crazy enough, and fun fact though, those comics inspired Fusion Fall, the MMO that Cartoon Network actually made though.
I tried to play that. I really liked the concept and premise for it.
Yeah,
I thought when I saw, because I saw the comics after I saw that, I thought I was like, is this just like somebody's interpretation of that? No.
it's the opposite. Fusion Fall was like people are liking this weird webcomic with all a big crossover of mostly RIPs. Why don't we just make an anime version?
And then it flopped. God damn
pretty
it.
much. It was interesting though.
Oh god, it reminds me of the days that Gaia Online made their own MMO called ZOMG.
ZOMG.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I'm just too old, I guess.
I mean, the internet's a big place. It's like if I've learned anything from hanging out with Sil is that I do not know the internet the way I thought I did. I miss
No,
like
that's
half of
entirely
like
fair.
I miss so much things. That wasn't proper English. So much things.
yeah.
Uh
Right. So, what other questions you got for me?
actually, this is just a side note tangent, but like are you an MMO girly? Did you play a lot of MMOs?
Kind of.
What MMOs did you play? This isn't questions that we got asked by audience. This is just me.
I played up to level 20 on World of Warcraft and then promptly quit because I was
Fair.
trying to get something for Hearthstone, and then I quit that.
Valid.
ZOMG is one thing I mentioned, but that was like baby's first MMO.
Kind of like old school RuneScape, pretty much.
Kind of similar boat. The last one and the one I constantly do return to every once in a while is Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Oh, interesting. Didn't BioWare make that?
Yes. It's not bad, honestly.
Did you play a Twi'lek?
I don't have many Twi'leks. I have a Cathar, and the Chiss. The Chiss. I wanted to play the Chiss. I didn't care what if they were Republic or Imperial. I wanted to play the Chiss.
The Chiss. I have to. Oh, them. Okay. Okay.
Blue skin, red eyes, comes from an Arctic planet. A like secondhand citizen of the Imperial Empire.
Second-hand citizen?
Yeah. The Imperials are all about humanity, and the Chiss joined their society and are treated as less.
That's always something that I always thought was kind of odd with Star Wars. I'm just like, you mean humans are just everywhere? There's all these aliens, but like just humans are the only ones that are treated with.
Don't
like,
get me started with with their exception as the Sith purebloods.
Like fair. Yeah, just
They're like red-skinned individuals with like bone protrusions coming out of their face.
I used to be
Which they also like pierce and stylize with jewelry.
I used to be a huge fan of like Darth Maul's race. I can't remember its name right now.
Zabrax.
Zabrax. Yeah, I remember I played one of the old games and it let you have a character creator, and I used to like love the idea of trying to be a neutral one of them because
Trying to play as a gray knight.
yeah, a Grey Knight Zabrak was like a big thing for me, where it would just be like, I'll fight anybody. And
I am neither Sith nor Jedi. I use my emotions as I see fit, and will calm myself as I see necessary.
yeah, exactly. I will do what I want. I will do as I please.
Fuck yeah.
But I remember that the game just did not. The game that I played did not plan on anybody trying to be neutral, but it gives you the option to like switch back and forth between your options. So it's just the game breaks after a certain point.
So, two of my favorite things. One of my favorite things to do when it comes to playing anything, honestly, is if I see something that is unanimously known as like this most wretched, hateful thing, I'll play against type. I will make them either the nicest motherfucker you'll ever meet, or something in between. I have as a DM, I have a Githyanki NPC that is actually not xenophobic. He's actually like really into the other mortal races that make up the material planes. In Star Wars: The Old Republic, I actually had the Cathar that I mentioned before. I played a Sith warrior, and I played him nice. It's so funny to go through the cutscenes and choose all the nice options because it throws off the Jedis.
You know, I can see that.
Response is like, "This is a trick. You're trying to lull me into a false sense of security." It's like, no. If you want to fight Jedi, I will give you one. We will fight honorably. And they're like, no. Ah! And they end up being the ones that are so cranky in there, and my character's just like, do as you must, I guess.
Your trickery knows no bounds, Sith. You take me for a fool.
No, I just want to do this honorably. I just want this to be done with this. Let's just go.
I just like I liked it when it was just, like just the tone that was just like the no.
No.
Something about that was really funny to me. All right, next question.
Oh, right.
I mean, we can keep talking Star Wars.
No. You're good. What's the next question? Because I will be here all day.
I don't know. We could go as long as you feel like wanting to go.
I do have to go to bed at some point. That's why I'm like, please cut me off.
Fair. You have the chance to rewrite the ending of a book series. Which book would you choose and why? Are you a big reader? I'm giving you too many questions.
At the current moment, I'm going to have to say none, because the books that I have read, I was quite satisfied with their endings.
Fair. How about are you a big reader? Do you like to read?
I need to read more. But I do enjoy reading when I get around to it. I actually find myself a good portion of the time pulling up my books, just kind of giving myself a refresher on the lore of specific monsters in Dungeons and Dragons. Especially considering my private campaign, one that I used to actually record for and put up on my old YouTube, the Artisans of Ember. They have a lot of dragons that I started working with, and I wanted to do them justice and actually make them as lore accurate as I possibly can, but also giving them their own characters. So I would find myself reading in those books, especially for the dragons, making sure that I am up to date, as it were.
That makes sense. Yeah, okay. Interesting. I'm not a reader. I'm like, I think the only book I've read since high school was one of the Mass Effect novels.
Ooh, fair. I was gonna say, but you're also an Android. You could just plug into the internet into the internet and just quick read.
I wish that was that easy. I'm a synthezoid. I can't do the like interface of the computer thing. I have to have like a second party do that.
That is the first time I heard that word, and my brain just immediately started thinking of the old Warner Brothers Freakazoid. Freak
Freakazoid.
you.
That's a
Freak
super underrated cartoon. I love that cartoon. Predicted the internet. For those who don't know, quick premise of Freakazoid. It was created by the creators of Batman the Animated Series and Animaniacs, sharing an animation studio and wanting to make fun of the Batman show.
That's part of the reason why. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, and so they just merged writing teams and they made Freakazoid for its seasons or however long it went. And the premise is a kid who is like a super nerd got an experimental computer chip that downloaded the entirety of the internet in 1999 or 8 or whatever year it was into his brain. And he acts like a modern day like internet user. Like it's just kind of hilarious. Like they predict a modern internet culture, including to the point where like he will argue like stuff about like Star Trek with like his villains.
Oh, that's great.
Like that is a thing that has happened in multiple episodes. And he's just like, I think this is really dumb because above it's just like stuff like like he'll just do stuff like that. You're just like, okay. And then sometimes he'll flip and just be doing like dumb memes. Or like there is a villain that's just creepypasta.
Oh, Candlejack?
Yeah, if you say Candlejack 3 times, he shows up and he gets you.
Yeah, so nobody talk about Candlejack or you get you. So I gotta be careful, or you just that worked better in my head. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh no, they got her.
It was a short visit, but I'm here.
I mean, he kind of just ties you up with rope. So, I mean, like,
Yeah.
You're an adventurer. You can kind of just probably used to that.
In the early days of TFS plays, they actually were talking about that villain specifically, and just like the three of them started slowly going quiet as they started talking about Candlejack through the course of the video, until it was just one person left.
Oh wait, is it by person or is it by group? Because technically, I
there
think
was, like-
I'm at 2 and you're at 2.
I don't know.
He's my biggest
my
want
face
to
hurts
be,
from
like-
laughing too much.
I genuinely would kill for him to get added into DC proper because he's owned by Warner Brothers.
Oh, Freakazoid, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
Freakazoid.
great.
I
That would be
just-
so good.
And then you just get him in, and then like DC keeps trying to make Harley Quinn DC's Deadpool, and I'm like, you have DC's Deadpool. He just
His
haven't
name
let
is Freakazoid.
yeah, he's just not in DC yet.
Somebody out there, get on that.
DC, please hire me. Actually, I don't know if I've ever told you this. I actually got rejected from a job at DC.
What?
Yeah, no, I applied to DC and Marvel because I was trying to think of what I wanted to do after
Mhm.
my game company crashed forever ago. And I'm like, I like
Ah.
superhero comics. Let's try to write superhero comics. And Marvel ghosted me, obviously. But DC wrote me a very kind letter telling me that they really loved my premises and the directions of ideas I had, but that I should come back after I've written something that got published and they might be interested in hiring me.
At least they gave you that.
Yeah.
That's a. If I was looking at that, that's just like, it's a long shot, but that's a foot in the door.
Yeah. So I just need to write a novel and then I can get a job at DC apparently.
Yeah.
Which is way easier said than done. That's why I don't work at DC. But that was on the list of rapid fire ideas that because they ask you on the application form, like, what would you do if you got a job at DC? Like, what kind of comics would you want to write?
Right? That's so cool, though. I mean, it's still a no, but at least you got something.
Yeah. And I just think it's funny that like the one like I'm not as big of a fan of DC as I am Marvel, but I had way more interesting ideas for DC. So I think maybe that's why they were like, we should write them a letter. Like you should maybe go do something. We might we'll put you down
Yeah.
for maybe. But anyway. So, next question.
I
What are your methods to deal with burnout or lack of motivation?
take a break from it. I just do something completely different. Be it something small as just like just focusing on just playing some games for a little bit,
Mhm.
or just focusing on like even if it's just like work for the matter, or just like hanging out with friends. Just it's okay to take a break every once in a while and just come back to it later. If you don't feel like you want to come back to it, that's fine too. Um, I haven't drawn in like a good while, and I know I want to get back into it proper, but I don't feel rushed or a desire. Question for host and guest.
You get the all clear for a 6-issue comic run. What would it be?
Oh my god. I'll answer that after I finish with what I'm saying.
Yes.
But
We'll
art is definitely something that I experience that most often, but like I don't know. Everybody treats burnout and just art blocks, creative blocks, I should say, differently than everyone else. If anything, how I handle things is just taking a moment to step away from it and come back to it when you feel like you're ready. Sometimes that ready button is never ready, and that's okay. Like you don't need to force yourself.
You know what? That's a lot of good sentiments. I agree. And even if you're doing something like if maybe like your livelihood or something is attached to
Mhm.
it, if you're feeling burnt out, I think it's a really good time to maybe reevaluate and just try maybe experimenting with something maybe you haven't thought before to see if something works instead of trying to do the same thing if it's not working for you mentally.
Hmm. Now, to answer that comic question, or I would say, because that was something I wanted to do when I was a kid, is actually get around to making Tales of Score proper and actually just starting with making a series based off of what I technically wrote as the last two heroes of that generation. Their names are Zen and Shade, and it would end with them stopping this incarnation of evil from breaking their reality.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Um, if it's like just in general for me, I would say probably just my lore as a comic currently.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
But if you're talking like as far as company goes, I think my big one would be probably my big one right now would probably be integrating Captain Planet into the DC universe.
Oh, that would be great.
Like Captain Planet and Freakazoid, I both would love to like have integrated into the DC universe, and if I got to do it for a company, genuinely that has now become just like my white whale of if I ever got like creative freedom with IPs that I like, I would do something like that. That like I have a vision in my head of how to make Captain Planet cool and modern in a way that'll always age
Oh my
perfectly, and I want it
god.
to be real so bad.
I would love to see the two of them as part of the Justice League. They would be great. Well, Captain Planet would. Freakazoid would probably be part of the B team. No, C team. D team?
The funny part is he's actually like really powerful.
Yeah, but nobody would take him seriously. He'd probably be paired up with Booster Gold the entire time.
I want his zaniness against like Batman, and Batman's just like I have no
C-Team!
idea what is going on. Freakazoid, Freakazoid. But yeah,
Freakazoid, we told you many times before, we don't have time to deal with this. Go back to the station. Okay, then. Whoosh.
Some of his villains are actually good villains that would fit in with like everyone else. That's the funny part. Like one of his villains is like a super serious, like Batman-esque villain, and he's just really offended. The joke is that he's just really offended at getting called really dumb insults, like being called a weenie. He's like, I'm not a weenie. And something about
I'm not a weenie.
there's something about putting that and then just like him just being really sensitive about insults, but otherwise he's just a normal villain. It's sitting next to all the other supervillains is so great to me because he fits in and he just has such a dumb, like, his weaknesses called names.
I fucking love that.
Just something about like, and then Freakazoid's the only one who's like exploits that. Just
This is why I enjoy conversations with you. You and I have a wonderful back and forth. Holy shit. I can't stop laughing. Ah.
yeah, like pie in the sky. I actually really wish I got that DC job. Like,
Oh, that would be great.
every time I talk about it, the more I'm like, damn, I should have done more to get that job.
I mean, it's still out there. You just gotta.
I mean, fair. My big
I am-
plan, it's never too late to make that happen, I guess, in a sense.
I am a firm believer that anybody can do anything. They just have to push themselves to do so, and you're never too old to try.
I just have to write a novel first, apparently.
I think you got it.
Yeah.
But also on the same note, like I understand that a lot of people have a hard time trying to push themselves to do that. And like it's you don't have to rush. You don't have to do everything like then and now.
Oh, yeah.
You just take your time. No one's rushing you.
Yeah, like, the problem is just writing a novel is not, like, a thing that you do to get to something else. It's not like taking an online course or something. It's like, I have to actually come up with a thing I would want to write if I wanted to do that. That's the
Right.
problem with it. It's just like...
Yeah. No, yeah, I get you.
So it's just like, oh, that's blocked behind a whole other creative endeavor. Yeah, to
Yeah.
wrap my mind around if I was to go for
Yeah.
that. So, ooh, this one's actually I like this one. I don't know if they mean for your character or for you, the person, but we can maybe.
I can probably interpret it as both.
Yeah, if you had to turn into a D&D race, and you can include non-player races, what would your top 3 be and why?
Okay. Interesting. Okay. That's probably not for novella because we already know technically answer 0. You're looking at her.
I mean, would she turn into something else if she wanted? If she had the option?
Oh God. Let's see.
'Cause, I mean, I think plenty of people you optimistically, even if they're like, I like who I am, could be also be like, but if I was like a 20-foot tall kaiju right now, that'd be pretty sick.
Oh God.
Or
Let's
not 20
see.
foot tall. That's not very big. That's like the tiniest kaiju ever. 200 is the word I was looking for.
Githyanki. Goblin. Oh, I'm accidentally flipping off the screen. Shit. Let's see. And what else?
Actually, I agree with you on Goblin. I like the idea of being small.
I want to be small. What else?
Accidentally, we see you, novella.
I'm trying not to genuinely, like, I can't help it. It just happens sometimes. Oh no! Normal or hobgoblin? Normal goblin, just goblin. But yeah, Githyanki, goblin, and I'd probably say, It's a toss between Ganassi, Tiefling, maybe. And well, technically, considering it's now part of D&D, I would probably say maybe even Vidalcan or a Doigar. Though that's like the potentials for number 3, because I can't choose.
You know what? I feel that. Actually, here's like a spin-off of that question. If you, Novella the person, were like, you got isekai'd, and it's like, you don't, like, if you were like, this isn't your opinion, what do you think you would just get, right?
God, I'd hope I'm a goblin. Please, whichever deity is listening, please let me be a small green short stack.
You know what? Fair. I like that. I like that as like a carry-on question because like just the other day I was talking about how I watched a skit the other day and it was talking about how like you don't have to be a furry, but if you've never thought about if like it was suddenly furry world, what animal you would be, you're a boring person. And
I
just-
would be either a barn owl or an otter.
I think I'd be like a salamander.
Those are the 2 off the top of my head because I love them both.
Mm-hmm. Fair. And but yeah, in my little rant about that skit, and I'm like, I agree with that sentiment a lot. Like, if you've never just sat and thought, and I'm like, then I switched to D&D races. I'm like, if you've never thought, like, what D&D race would I be born as, assuming like population is all switched over?
There's too many animal races inside D&D.
I agree.
Tabaxi, Leononin, Loxodon, Minotaur, Centaur, Satyr, Yonti, Dragonborn. I'm counting them. Lizard folk, kobolds.
I have nothing against furries, but they did really invade high fantasy, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Aarakocra, Tritons. What else?
Tritons?
Kenku.
Yeah.
Tritons are fish people.
You could probably extend that to Minotaur, at least partially, even though it's a mythological creature.
Centaurs too, because their lower half is just the body of a horse.
Oh wait, then that means Wemmix and Bullywugs.
Mm-hmm.
Sloan. Wait, are those even playable in anything?
Uh,
I don't know. There's a lot of D&D races.
yeah.
I know a lot of people who'd just be like, Dragon. Done.
Yeah, I'm looking at Zyber just like, I know their answer. It's dragon.
I feel like you'd have to make sure you're the kind of dragon who could turn into a humanoid form, though. Otherwise, you're just like, oh no, the lack of opposable thumbs. I feel like that would be very annoying as a person who has lived at least partial life with opposable thumbs to suddenly not have those.
That's assuming that the dragon wants to be integrated into normal society. They can just fuck off and go to a forest or a mountain and a cave.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what if you just wanted to move a rock? You're used to thumbs and you don't have them anymore. I feel like it would just be frustrating for a long time.
Fair enough.
I'm not sure how long, and I guess dragons do live forever. So I mean, you'd probably eventually get used to it.
Fair enough. Are there any other questions?
We've actually hit the end of the questions.
Oh shit.
We can just chit-chat about like D&D, or if the audience wants to ask questions in chat, we can do that too. Or whatever.
Okay.
We don't have to chit-chat about D&D. That's just one of the easiest conversations so far.
What do you call your community?
They're the... Okay, so that's complicated. They have 2 names.
I call mine the Travelers because they come to my campgrounds.
So they are datalings, but they are part of the Selvian Legion.
All right, datalings and travelers. Do you have any questions for dear old me, or for both of us? I suppose.
Yeah. If I was not mythical, I would go horse, but 100% of the time I would be dragon. It's dragging who?
Of course, you're a horse girl, Zyber.
I like horses. I actually, I mean, never mind.
Yo, I just had a deja vu moment. Holy shit.
Oh, why?
I dreamt of this for some reason. I said this in a dream once. What the fuck? Thank you, deja vu. This is now forever recorded on Twitch. Hi.
Actually, I had that once. Legitimately, both. This is a weird thing. So I don't. When I was a kid, I don't know how much I believe this, just because we were kids. I know it's true for me.
Mhm.
I had a friend who I'd only get to hang out with on the summer, and we went to like a street fair, and the street fair happened every year. And I had a dream. We went to a certain like me and him were hanging out, and we went to a certain stall, and we won something, like a poster. And then the next day, we did that exact thing and won the exact poster. And then he claimed that he dreamt the same thing the night before too.
So I have these like deja vu dreams every once in a while, and I don't know when they're going to happen or what they're going to be. I just know that there's like I get a glimpse of a scene and things are being said, and then I just like my brain does a click like light bulb moment, and I just kind of like stand there for a brief moment just going, whoa.
Fair. That's
So you're
kinda
not
weird.
alone. I in some cultures, in some mythologies, not mythologies, in some religions, that's technically a premonition dream. But yeah, clairvoyance at its finest, something like that. Yeah, but I don't try to focus on it too much because sometimes people just go like, "Oh no, but what if you dream about your death?" Fuck off.
I had a
I don't
cosmic
think
owl
about that.
dream, Finn. It means it's coming true.
Apollo's curse of knowledge. Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of Adventure Time, after just side note, is just afterwards when they start hanging out with cosmic beings, and Cosmic Owl, the dude who does like shows up to show that things are a premonition in dreams, just like casually shares a hot tub with them, in like two different instances. They're just like he's like, "Hey, scoot over, man." Oh, okay. It's like just like if like the Grim Reaper himself just like sharing a seat on a bus with you, and you're just like, what?
Yeah. All right. Mana Mafia asked a question.
Your model's
If
gotten
your
to a
models fight, who would
win.
win? Uh, I want to give Selvion the benefit of the doubt, but I am a CR5 monster. Some adventurers would have trouble with me if they were low leveled.
I mean, I'm functionally a Power Ranger.
Oh, I'd get my ass beat. I, I am your goon of the week, goon of the day.
Although the funny part is because I am part of the Rainbow 38, and there's 38 of us, and I'm one of the obscure colors because I'm 31. I'm kind of fodder for the Power Rangers.
Oh no!
So that kind of makes it kind of flip back around to like, wait. Because, like, my thing is that, like, legitimately, the reason I quit the Rainbow 38 is because I was tired of being beaten up by this, like, slightly higher level guys to make, like, 1 through 5 look good when they beat them up. You know what I mean? Power Ranger style.
I see also another question from a brave fool asking, um, you can eliminate one single fantasy trope from all media for 1 year. What is it?
You know what? Like, a year ago, I would have said Isekai. but I don't think I agree with that anymore because I've gotten really into izakaya lately.
Another it's like side damsel in distress. Yeah, that's an old and dated one that needs to go. Honestly,
I like
play against reverse the roles. Have it be a dame, like a guy, be in distress, and the girl has to save them,
or you know what? Have
or just ditch the genders entirely. Just have it be two non-binary saving each other.
or you know, you could damsel in distress could be saved by a girl. You know, you can people never. That's one of those tropes that nobody ever remixes that much.
They need to, because it's fun.
Yeah,
Dudes rule over everything, and it fucking sucks. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
I would say the rule of 3. No, I wouldn't say that. Rule of 3 is fun if used correctly.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Fuck.
That's just immediately what that made me think of.
No, just like the powers of 3, requiring 3 artifacts to do certain the MacGuffin, stuff like that, or like I don't know.
MacGuffin. No, I okay.
I would say,
Grimdark. There we go. I'm tired of Grimdark. Give me
I
some
think
whimsy.
I'm honestly tired of Grimdark because people kind of have a different idea of what Grimdark actually is supposed to be, and not all of it is correct.
But like sometimes
Like,
I want
there was
Go
there's
on.
an argument that was made by OSP once before about like no one really understanding how it works, and the Watchmen kind of got it right, but everybody saw what the Watchmen did and got it all wrong.
Yeah. A lot of people learning the wrong lessons from art and trying to emulate it. Like actually that reminds me that makes me think of like a good example is all the people trying to do like the live service games like because they're like we want that Fortnite money. But the reason people like Fortnite is because it's a simple game that gets a lot of crossovers.
I know what I just know my answer now. I know my answer now.
Yeah.
Fetch quests. Fetch quest. That is a fantasy trope I would like to have stop for at least like a year. Just like, I need to get this thing so I could do that thing, so I could do this other thing, and now I can actually complete the story.
I mean
That is annoying.
what if it's on the way?
That would make it a little bit easier, but it's somebody down the line is going to recognize that this is a fetch quest.
Okay, you know what? Fair enough. Maybe I'm just like too MMO brain. I'm just like, fetch quest to me is like go kill 20 boars, and not like go get this.
I'm talking about
MacGuffin.
like also like in stories, just like the protagonist needs to go grab this item so they can want to keep them in, like ambiguous, so they can go do this big old thing just so they can do something entirely different, all in the pretenses of saving, say, their kingdom or something. Like,
Fair.
I can give an example.
Quick side note: Lord of the Rings.
In Descent into Avernus, a adventure module in Dungeons and Dragons, it is written that this hag is willing to help the players do what they want if they give her a blood of a celestial or something like that, or like, but there's no celestials in hell. That's where this premise takes place. There is one that the hag mentions to them, and they send them out to go find the celestial, only to find that the celestial has been turned into a devil themselves, and the devil, this celestial, wants to be turned back into their original state, but they require a blood of a celestial themselves, and then they lead them off to find a shrine of an evil god, and they have to break that evil god out.
Interesting. Just makes me think
Escort
of,
quest, yeah.
I actually did play a lore where they're just like, oh yeah, elementals, demons, angels, all of those things are the same thing. It's just whatever is their current thing influencing them the most.
Mm-hmm.
So like, as a Cambion, if you spent too much time in the elemental fire, you'd become a fire element, like an elementium instead, because all
Ooh.
of your I can't remember what setting it was though. I just remember thinking it was really fascinating when they were dealing with it, because they had like an imp side character, and they just like slowly were morphing as they were going between certain realms because they were not staying anywhere long enough. But they were all in cosmic realms that weren't the hells or the mortal realm, so they were like permanently on fire for some section, and it was like not pleasant. They weren't attuning or whatever. Kind of a neat idea. Also, is Lord of the Rings not just one big fetch quest, but in reverse, a ditch quest? We gotta get rid of this thing. Do we have to go somewhere and just get rid of this?
We gotta bring it back to the place it was born. It was forged. Throw it into the lava.
Just
A
like,
ditch quest. Yeah.
you know what? There should be more ditch quests in fiction. I like that. Just like, oh yeah. You know what? A random homeless man has given you a cursed tome. You don't want this shit. Get rid of it. There's your quest. Oh, I throw it
my
away.
God.
It's in your inventory still. Damn it.
You could argue that's pretty much all of Baldur's Gate
Here we
3.
go. Welcome to Taco Bell.
PokeLink, thank you for the raid. Welcome everybody. I'm doing
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Here we go.
Mia
Welcome to
Fox, thank you
Taco
for the
Bell.
raid. Hi. Welcome in, raiders. I am Sal, and this is Novella.
Hi.
We're currently doing a talk show called Sullivan Night, where we're doing a talk show thing.
Thank
Hi.
you for the raid, lovelies. Hello.
Tiana, Mia, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Sylvian Legion. I hope you have a cell of a time. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope
We're most certainly having a cell of a night.
I hope you're ready for a lot of high fantasy talk, because that's pretty
Oh
much
my
what we've been
goodness.
doing a lot.
Look at all of them. Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of people. Holy shit. Hi.
Hi. But yeah, anyway, as we were saying,
Oh shit,
yeah,
nice.
ditch quests, right? Ditch quests.
Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
Bug, thank you for the 5 gifted subs.
That's 10 now. God damn.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Got a sub for Bryn Holden and Kit Cot and V
Holy
Crow,
shit.
Bongo,
Wow.
Charles Snorse. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Holy
Shoot
shit.
you, motherfucker. I'm glad that both of these happened about the same time. Good for, like, having to
Wow.
cut that out of the VOD later. Hi, but thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Bug's just farming hype trains today, apparently. But thank you so much.
But can it go higher?
What are you doing?
Nah, I'm not gonna force anybody to do that if they don't want to do that. Like, save your money. Do what you want to do with it, but be responsible. But still.
Save that kind
You
of peer
could.
pressure for a subathon. Come on.
You don't gotta, but if you wanna.
You were playing Marvel Rivals? Nice. I hope you guys had fun.
I just realized something really fucking funny with my model. I've noticed this for a while, but it's funny to see it on stream still. But
Okay.
like anytime I raise my eyebrows, it also messes with my chest. So just like if you notice, just like I'll move my eyebrows up and down, and it's messing with my body.
Oh, okay. Now that I wouldn't have noticed it if you hadn't said it. Now I'm like, you're
It's
you're-
a silly little bug.
your boobs move whenever you do that.
My tits have a mind of their own. Dear God, help me.
Kind of makes me think of the people who like they like move their like nose, like you know how you can like open and close your like nostrils a little bit. They'll have like their ears move.
Why would you say that, Madam Mafia? No!
Like an etchy anime.
Those are some incredible strong eyebrows to cause your chest muscles to contract. Bluetooth connected titties. Fuck.
I knew I shouldn't have given you the Wi-Fi password.
Oh God, those electromagnets.
Just like Siri, wiggle titties.
Oh shit. Anyway. Fucking A.
We-
Novella House of Table taste, like table mahogany.
All right. When was the last question we
Microplastics.
got? Microplastics. Yes, I like my microplastics with extra sugar and microplastics, please.
Oh my God, it's like my grandmother. Just like, would you like more bread with your butter?
Oh, I'm just like I'm be that person.
Yes. Would you like more tea with your sugar?
Oh my God, did you see the chat the other day where me and Sil got into our argument over coffee creamer, and she was just like, "You can't put that much coffee creamer in coffee." And then I'm like, I measured it out. Like, it's not that bad. And then she got upset with me, and then I poured it in front of her on camera, and then she's like, "Oh, that's not that bad."
I'm still thinking about the group chat conversation of just like how much you're spending on coffee creamer alone. Holy shit.
Use too much. Hey, come on. I like coffee.
Okay, no, I like coffee too, but I don't drink it that often. I guess that's the reason why I kind of look at your creamer situation just like, goddamn, girl. Goddamn.
I drink 2 cups of coffee a day,
Okay.
which,
No, that's fair.
yeah, it doesn't sound that bad if you put it that way, but everyone's just like, that's too much coffee with how much coffee creamer I'm going through. But that's
Well,
just
I'm biased. I like coffee, so that doesn't sound bad to me. So I'm not going to help you in this argument. I'm only going to agree with you.
good. Thank you. I like being agreed with. Ooh, a new hype train thing.
Wow.
Yo, chill girl. Honestly,
Chit-chit.
the hype train rewards have not been nearly as good since I got Gritty Goose. They've all been like, none of them have led up to the hype of
That's
Gritty
where
Goose.
that comes from. I think my favorite emote that I like that has come out since of TwitchCon has been, if I could just go all the way down for it. Where are you? There you are.
I still am a huge fan of the fact that they added the Grass Lord.
I was about to put that one into the chat. This is my favorite one.
I love him so much. I want him to be more of a character. I want more Grass Lord.
Dear chat, I am proud to say I was knighted by the Grass Lord. I have a pin and a medallion to prove it.
Yeah, I was there. Actually, I was there. I also got knighted.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we were knighted by the Grass Lord. We officially touched grass in the name of Twitch TV.
A touch of grace, a touch of grass. All is good.
When I played Elden Ring, I literally referred to every single site of grace as touching grass.
You know what you need to do, or somebody should do for Elden Ring, is just do a Grass Lord build.
Oh, a grass. Like, wait. Is there weapons that would make that work? Can you make? I guess
I
you could
bet
go-
there is some. I bet there is some.
I guess you could do like hair over your face. I think there is a hair over your face option, and just make your hair dark green.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just wear have your face covered by hair, have it be full green, wear a crown, full purple robes, big old wooden / stone slab of sword.
I mean,
I think it could work.
I think most of that is in Elden Ring. But all right, I do know we have missed some questions. We can toss back to some questions from chat. Let's go with the furthest back, just out of fairness. D&D or Warhammer Fantasy, which has the stronger Earth? No extra planetary aid like Githyanki reinforcements or godly interventions, just the planet themselves.
Are we talking about 40K's Earth, or are we talking about Sigmar's Earth?
I assume Sigmar.
Sigmar. I'd have to give that to the Age of Sigmar. Because there's an open portal to hell in that part of the fantasy, and they fight that daily. Faerun, on the other hand, is the most used material plane of Dungeons and Dragons. They wouldn't be able to handle that daily. Nah, they need special individuals, plucky adventurers to handle their problems for them. Nah, the everyday Joe is having to go out there and fight demons.
You know, I feel like if you're gonna just go like generic D&D world, I feel like I would give it to D&D. But if you're going with like core lore world, like from like the books that they expect you to play in, whatever, right?
They have muskets, yeah.
Because yeah, like I'm like my medieval fan. Like a lot of the times when I've played D&D, it's like it's very much like all sorts of stuff is like super commonplace, like world-ending dragons. So you know that adventurers deal with that. So I mean, I don't know.
That's a fun question. I'd still give it to Age of Sigmar though.
Fair.
I love D&D. I absolutely love D&D. I don't love the people behind D&D, but I love D&D.
I'll just go make my own D&D with blackjack and hookers.
Actually, forget the blackjack. That would be Pathfinder. You're not wrong. You are absolutely not wrong.
Actually, funny thing that blackjack got mentioned because I did it, but have you heard of it's a cowboy one? I can't remember its name, but it doesn't have dice. It's a tabletop system, and instead you play poker, and your hand is how good you do on your next roll.
Oh my god, that sounds cool.
Yeah, and so like you know how if you play poker, there's like 2 cards in the middle, and you're trying to get a certain number, and you can fold or pass or whatever. The cards in the center.
You should do that with Balatro.
Yeah. So the cards in the center don't get drawn until a thing happens. So you just don't know if your hand is going to be good or not. And you hold on to a hand until it's time to play it. And it's cowboys.
Yeehaw.
So you have to, like, you can technically bluff the DM into folding to win encounters.
Oh my god! That's my worst nightmare! So I know I'm the one who's going to have to run it. Fuck!
Doesn't that sound fun, though? At least for, like, a one-shot?
You're reminding me of this one time a player, like... It's likely not Deadwood, then. Okay, you're reminding me of a player of mine, specifically the one who made that Deadwood reference, playing, like, full-on just, like, juking me in an encounter. Second campaign. This player of mine is playing a warlock. His name is Luigi.
Oh. Okay. Mamma mia.
Papa Pia.
Papa Pia.
This character is a very charismatic individual and is part of this group calling themselves the Guild Pact. It's partly relations to Ravnica kind of stuff. They were trying to negotiate with this pirate Pirate Queen, we'll call her. Or I won't like go off and like name what character we use because we absolutely plucked it from somebody else's media. But we're just gonna say Pirate Queen for now. And he wanted Luigi cast Fireball. They were a warlock. They played a warlock. They wouldn't be able to cast Fireball at the level I think they casted at, but a different type of Fireball was had. But this Pirate Queen did not want to necessarily like. They've got to see what kind of prowess the party had, but was just like willing to at least like listen to them out, but like wanted to play by her rules specifically. So the Pirate Queen made a wager because this character is a little pretty, and unfortunately for the player, their character is also married.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think you could kind of put 2 and 2 together of what this Pirate Queen was thinking about, like putting down onto the table. But what Luigi wanted was to have this Pirate Queen to work for the city, to be pretty much a privateer. But the pirate wanted to do this through drinking, so they played a drinking game.
Mm-hmm.
My player pulled a fast one on me, and I didn't realize it until I got back to the table, metaphorical table here in this case. They actually swapped the drinks out, so Luigi didn't actually have to go through all the different shots until they were pretty much like flat out drunk.
Okay.
And how they did this was actually like playing a bit of magic against the Pirate Queen, so she didn't realize what was actually going on, and actually poured one of the shots to be water.
All right.
I was still baffled that it happened, and I still remember it to this day. I'm still playfully mad about it. That the warlock won against the pirate who's really good at their constitution in a drinking game. Fuck me running.
You know what that kind of just reminded me of? I don't know if I've told this story on stream yet. I got to, when I was in college, IRL cell, I went to a drinking party, like I went to one frat party that I had a friend who was in that fraternity. We played Dungeons and Dragons together, actually. Relevantly enough. But I got invited to their Easter fraternity party, and we did an Easter beer hunt, and a quarter of them were LaCroix, so people would stay hydrated, and if you found one, you had to drink it then and there, and they were hidden across the whole fraternity mall.
Oh my god, if I had a choice between beer and LaCroix, I'd probably take the beer because fuck LaCroix.
I do not like LaCroix. I don't understand LaCroix people.
I don't either!
Like, if it was flat water, I would be more okay with like barely flavored water. It's like you just taste the bitter carbonation stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's and then you're like, oh, this tastes like awful with a hint of lemon. Because like the flavors of LaCroix isn't the problem. It's the lack of it's the fact that you can taste the carbonation.
Were there any other questions?
Yes. What is your what is the best bread themed appetizer? Bread based appetizer.
Oh my god. Bread themed appetizer? Or bread based?
Bread based.
Oh my god.
Is that, did I say that one correctly? Oh, I will double
No,
check.
you're good, you're good. No, go ahead, because I absolutely am butchering the my remembering of it, and I need to go back and forth with you on that A Brave Fool, because like that was a beautiful moment, but also fuck you.
Oh, if you
For
want
the record, A brave fool is the player who did that to me. Their character was named Luigi.
Ah, okay.
He's my he's an old friend of mine. He's a college friend of mine, and I am glad that he's still sticking around to play D&D with me. If you ever show up on Saturdays in the morning to watch me play Spelljammer with my friends, you'll see them play the pugilist named Nedra, who is unfortunately the I would say the person who kind of keeps the party in check now and then. Oh my god, who shot me out? Hi, thanks.
You're
Wow.
welcome. You were talking about a specific thing you're doing this week, so I'm like, oh, this is a good time to do that.
Well, it's not this week specifically. Next week, I'll definitely be running Spelljammer. This week, it's the Artisans of Ember that I talked about earlier on in the stream.
Yes. I totally remembered.
One thing you will at least know about me is that I do my best to remember how bits of conversation go.
There. I love mommy goth girls. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Soviet Legion. I hope you have a cell of a time. I like their name. I had to make sure I did that.
I like that name too.
Hi.
We do love them here. I know several. They're amazing.
Goth girls good. Yes. We stand.
They could break my bones, and I would say more, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have another? Anyway.
If I
Wait,
ever-
hold on. Hold up. Thank you for the appreciation for that, but would never consider myself one. But
Did I ever send you that meme where it was like, Hatsune Miku is going to beat you to death. Just take from you your final breath. Hatsune Miku is going
Oh my
to kill
God.
you. And then
You're reminding me of this because I used to be part of the vocal synth community, the Vocaloid Utao community.
oh,
When the lockdown happened, when
yeah,
dear old Bovid was definitely in its height, somebody went out of their way to do a silly song for Miku to sing that went Corona, 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 Corona. 1, wash your hands. 2, don't touch me. 3, wear a mask. 4, don't touch me.
that was you know when I was like struggling earlier to come up with a question after when we were changing subjects. That was the last
Mhm.
subject that I had written down that I wanted to talk to you about that I couldn't remember, and that's why I was like,
Oh.
braining. That was it. I wanted to talk to you about Vocaloid stuff.
Oh shit, sure, yeah. That was an interesting part of my life. It was a rabbit hole that I don't regret going into. There's definitely people that I wish I didn't meet, but it's neither here nor there. I wish them the best of their lives and all the success. But it is best that I stay on my side of the internet and they stay on theirs.
You know,
But
funny enough,
no,
I
go
hear
ahead,
that-
go ahead.
I hear that a lot from people who do like indie music online. That exact sentiment, that exact like. There's people I wish I didn't meet doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what that means. I wonder if that means anything.
The toxicity in the community.
And that's it. Anyway.
No, yeah, I'll go over to that question in just a second. I just saw something fucking funny from Mana Mafia.
Yeah.
But like no, yeah. I
Why?
enjoyed my time learning how to actually run Utao, because I actually ended up using that to learn to practice my voices actually. Because when recording a voice for Utao, you'd have to sing go through all these different characters and vowels and consonants just to make it sound correct and appropriate for when it's in the program fully. I had to make a folder for these different characters, slap them into another folders into the program so it actually recognizes like, oh hey, this is in here now. Neat.
Okay, so just since we had a quick little break, we've got a care package and a bois redeem, and I did a bois, but I thought it'd be fun to make you do one, and also
What's
make
that?
you hydrate because I'm gonna do that.
Okay, I will absolutely hydrate. Thank you for that. God, it's getting late. Shit.
Don't worry, I think maybe like 10 more minutes and we'll wrap up.
I'm not wanting to rush anybody, and I'm not wanting to say like, "Oh God, I want to get out of here." I am full on enjoying this this whole bit, even if it was like just us chatting. Again, I enjoy talking with you. We have fun back and forth.
I need to invite you to we just not even like not that I don't invite you to think. I don't invite anybody to things. We need to do more things. We need to hang out
No,
more.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's so interesting. I actually, now that I think about it, we talked a bunch about Vocaloids like way back when. I think when you first told me about you did it was back at TwitchCon actually.
Yeah. Yes,
And
I
think,
do remember that.
I
We
think
also
I
talked a lot about Mass Effect and
Yes, we
BioWare,
talked a lot about
and still was like,
BioWare.
"Holy shit, y'all are still talking."
No, I mean like I don't know, like I can't believe she has no interest in playing Mass Effect. I'm still like offended by that. Like, what do you mean you don't want to play one of the greatest game franchises of all time? How dare you? Like, I would be less offended if you played it and didn't like it. Just, I don't think it's good. Like, I don't want to play
alcohol, but I'm still gonna drink one for my boy Rex. He's a good boy. Make sure he survives. God damn it.
I agree. I love Rex. The Krogans are all just best character. No matter whatever, they're always like the best one.
Them and the Quarians are the most fun. The ones that I find the most fun that were written down, personally.
Let me
They are very huggable. I would use other words for them too, but I will definitely take huggable.
Let me romance a Krogan
my
in the
spine
next
would be
game.
broken, but I would definitely hug a Krogan.
Let me romance a Krogan in the next game, BioWare. Please.
Please, I beg you.
Solarian, actually.
I am the very model of a
scientist
scientist Solarian.
Solarian.
I've studied Specitorian, Asari, and Paterian. That's all I remember.
Sorry. I actually thought you were only going to go to Scientist Solarian, and that's why I tried joining in on that. Because I don't know it past that. But I love it. Yeah, I'm manifesting a Krogan romance. I don't even care if it's what gender the Krogan is. I just want a Krogan romance.
My xenoscience studies range from urban to agrarian. I am the very model of a scientist Solarian.
I love that they don't play any music, so it's just as awkward as your actual friend like suddenly bursting into a musical in front of you.
Hi.
You know what I mean? Like, something about
what do you mean? I am that friend.
Oh, I used to do auditorium tech for like the school plays and stuff. So I very frequently would just be like, "Hey, can we get a mic, like a mic check?" And someone would just burst into song. I will find my way, and I'm like, "Okay, thanks."
I will go the distance,
and they just keep going, and I'm just like, "Okay." I needed to test other mics, but thank you.
I'm stuck with my girl Tali or Liara. Yeah, that's fair. Clowns to the rest, the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. I need to sing more. Goddamn.
I agree. Karaoke stream when?
When
karaoke streams, they're fun.
When I get out of my little nervous shell, I think I'll do karaoke streams, or as they should be pronounced, karaoke.
Actually, okay, wait, I have a second suggestion, like a caveat maybe. I talked to Sil about this at one point, doing a drinking stream and maybe karaoke. And that way, if you add both of those together, maybe like, no, everyone would just assume that you're gonna be bad because you're already drinking. So then it's like, fine. Huh?
I love my friend of Brave Fool. He corrected me. He sent me a DM directly just to correct me on the drinking the drinking with the pirate. It was minor illusion spell to make so one of the glasses looked like it was like alcohol, and then casting hideous laughter on the pirate. Holy
Okay.
shit. Anyway,
But I'm just saying, maybe we could do like a group thing. That might be fun.
also his wife was there. Right. Shit. Thank you. A Brave Fool. Thank you, Bunkers and Dragons. Good god damn it. He's a treat. If you ever like find him in a VC, you absolutely should just shoot shit with him because he's fun to bounce stuff off of with.
I need to go in VCs more often. I like never hang out in VCs.
Mm.
Not even in my
Anyway.
own server. I'm bad about that.
I would love to go back on your idea. Just like I would absolutely love to do like a drinking karaoke night with everybody. That would be fun. That would be so fun.
Yeah. And then like the key part is if it did get streamed, you don't have the VOD saved. It's a once in a lifetime. If you're there, you got it. If you didn't,
Yes!
it's gone.
Now, did you say once in a lifetime? Now, one of the songs has to be once in a lifetime.
Once in a wait, which one's
As
the
the days go by, water
Oh.
flowing underground
Same
into
as
the
it ever
blue
was.
again. After the money's gone,
Undone.
once in a lifetime.
under the water, at the bottom of the ocean? There is water at the bottom of the ocean. There is water carrying the water. Remove the water, and the water remains. That's like my favorite
Same
part
as
of
it
that.
ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
Same as it ever was. Oh my god.
Time isn't adding up. Time isn't after us. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Actually, going back to Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy,
You
they
don't
actually
say-
reference that song.
This isn't my beautiful house. This isn't my beautiful wife.
And it's
And then
just
he
Billy
wakes up.
scrame into
Same as it ever
Grim's
was.
face. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
It's so good. That is okay. I'm gonna go ahead and make a bold claim. Like, as much as I hype up Adventure Time all the time as like my favorite cartoon, I feel like Billy and Mandy might actually take it. Like, genuinely, that show lives so rent free in my head compared to every other cartoon I've ever seen.
Fred Redberger lives rent free in my mind. So does Jeff the Spider and Haas Delgado. And just one line from Billy that is, "This cushion tastes like I'm choking." Yeah.
Oh my god! Okay, you want to hear some terrible news about the creator of Billy and Mandy that would make you maybe a little upset with Cartoon Network?
What happened to Maxwell Adams?
Okay, so, first and foremost, his puppet show apparently is forced to be a tax write-off, even though he did all the Patreon stuff. And his house is still destroyed and into apocalyptic state for it. And it's been like 5 years since they 2 or 3 years since they canceled the project. And his house is still
No.
trashed, looking like an apocalypse movie.
Fuck!
But like he's done interviews in his house and it's still destroyed because he can't afford to fix it all. Like he can afford to fix everything he needed to fix, but there's still like graffiti on the walls and holes and
God
stuff.
damn it!
But also, he got offered to make both an two Adult Swim shows. One was Billy and Mandy after they're done with school for Adult Swim. So they're like college aged.
Oh,
And that got
I have a
canceled.
feeling a few people. I have a feeling a few people would be absolutely happy to see Mandy as an adult.
Yeah. But so like older
I mean,
Billy
that
and
one
Mandy.
fanfic writer definitely did.
Yeah. But yeah, Adult Swim Billy and Mandy sequel canceled. And then he got then they made Gennady Tartakovsky the president just in time to close down like 3 or 4 months later. But they made Gennady Tartakovsky the president, and he gave Maxwell Adams a
Wow.
new show that he was working on. He's just like, you're gonna get a show, of course, Maxwell. Whatever you want to make, I'll approve it.
I'm fairly certain his name is Maxwell. I know his last name is Adams because
Yeah, it's
he
Maxwell Adams.
stylizes it. Yeah, okay. Because he always stylizes it when in the opening credits of his show.
With the Adams symbol. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they were going to give him a show, and Gennady Tarkovsky was given presidency of Cartoon Network just in time for them to shut down the animation studio.
God
Like
damn it.
6 months later.
God damn it.
Yeah, because Warner Brothers president hates cartoons.
Of course he does.
And that's why they made him president of the biggest American cartoon company. I mean, it does other stuff too, but
That's going to make me salty.
yeah. Oh well, he's working on a new project though. I've seen another. He's talked about how he's working on a new project, and he's not working with Warner Brothers anymore. So hopefully that'll
Finally.
be good.
I'm dialing way back on the subject of the Vocaloid stuff because
Oh yeah, we
we-
kind of got off on a.
that it definitely was a interesting eye opener and just like fun just to kind of like dissect how this entire thing works. Like I effectively know how Hatsune Miku works because I learned how to run Utao.
So is Utao like the program that like Hatsune Miku's like voice bank goes through?
Kind of. Vocaloid is the program that Hatsune Miku works in. And now she works in Synth V because, well, the people who actually made Miku pretty much has nothing to do with Vocaloid anymore because, well, Yamaha doesn't know how to do their shit.
Yeah, Sega owns Miku now. Oh wait, no, Sega doesn't own Miku. Sega owned partial rights to Miku, but I don't think they own it anymore. We looked this up on stream the other day. I can't remember. I was so
Yeah.
positive they owned Hatsune Miku, but they don't.
Krypton owns the original Vocaloids, which includes Hatsune Miku, Rinenled Kagamine, Meiko Sakine, and Kaito. And I think Megunine Luka? I'm not certain, but like the other Vocaloids such as Gakpoid, Megpoid, Ie, and One are like different Vocaloids that are owned by different companies, but like I don't know what's going on with them.
So which vocal? I assume you probably worked with Miku. I would assume that that's the one you would want
I
to.
haven't worked with Miku, but I did work with one that is now technically a Vocaloid. I have worked with Kasane Teto, that I'm fairly certain other people have do know about. She's a lot of fun.
Is she the red-haired one?
Yeah, she's the one with the twin drill hairstyle. Yeah.
Okay, because when I originally looked at Vocaloids and then I stopped looking at them for a while, I only knew about the 4: Luca, Miku, and Rin and Len. And then suddenly there was like 2 more that were always in like the permanent roster with red and white hair, and I'm just like, who are these 2? And they're just suddenly they're everywhere and like out of nowhere, and I'm like, they added more Vocaloids? Like, also, did you know?
Yeah,
that...
did you know that Sanrio has a Vocaloid?
Oh, that makes sense. Did you know Sanrio is Sega? They have the same
That
parent
makes sense.
company.
That makes sense.
Yeah, did you know both Miku and Hello Kitty were both cut characters from literally every single Sega crossover game?
We need to pull up her name because I'm pretty sure I know her name has Nekomura as part of it.
I think the only game that they were not cut characters from because they weren't planned was Sega Tennis. But all of the Sega racing games, they were all planned to be crossover characters in all of them.
Nekomura Iroha is a Sanrio Vocaloid.
Oh, okay. Did you know they have a Miku Automaton?
Yes.
I really want that. Like no joke. That is like, I don't think they sell it anymore, but I'm like, I desperately want the Miku Automaton.
Just me. Meh, 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 meh.
But it's all with the Miku like
Yeah.
audio font, so it's just like
I think my favorite automaton that I've seen is the one of Kirby.
that.
It's so cute.
I think that's still on my throne. I put it on my throne once, and I think it's still there.
That's amazing.
Because I learned like I've learned like 5 instruments, and I just never practice any of them.
The only instrument I learned how to use was my throat.
Okay, 6 instruments, and I do practice 1 then. But I feel like I feel like if I did an automaton, I would 100% mess with it on stream, just because
Hell yeah.
that's like goofy, fun.
Oh, speaking of like singing and stuff, like
Mhm.
yeah, again, like I did like make my own pretty much. Utao is the best way I could describe it, is like Build-A-Bear but Vocaloid is
Okay.
the best way I love describing it as, because you build your own Utao-loids to sing the songs that you want,
Oh,
or just download it from anybody who like in the community decided to provide their voice out to the world. There are some wonderful ones out there.
wait, would that be how? Like, I've actually heard of some VTubers talk about having an official release of themselves as a Vocaloid.
Mhm.
Would that be how they would do that? Probably.
I'm certain there's definitely some that have that would do that. Other routes would be like trying to make your voice for like Synthesizer V, or going through the rabbit hole of doing that with Vocaloid. Just, don't do anything stupid, and they will definitely take that out. There was definitely I don't remember their name fully, but there was definitely like a Macne, I think, was part of their name, but no, there was a different Vocaloid entirely, but it was for like, I think they're Korean voice banks, I think. This is me trying to go off of memory. I could be entirely wrong, just for the record, but I do remember somebody got into hot water and they took that voice bank down.
Okay. Because I do know that they're like, because that just makes me think of like how like
Usiwa.
not to bring up other VTubers while we're here, but I'm like, I think that's how like
You're good. I'm not gonna be upset about somebody talking about we've been talking about other VTubers from the Corpo stuff. For some parts of our segments, I have no problem about
Yeah.
us talking about others.
yeah, I was just gonna say, I think the whole Vocaloid thing, I think that's how they make like Zentreya and like Neurosama sing.
Oh, okay.
I think they have Vocaloid banks that are like private for just them to make.
I would not be surprised if they did something like that, or just use Utao if somebody knows how to run the strings on that, or just using Synth V, because honestly, that would probably be the better of the options, because Utao is really outdated.
There, like a lot. Yeah, that makes sense actually. All right. If do we have any more questions from the audience?
I'm looking at chat. I see you. You cannot hide.
Anyway, I can't think of
Fire.
anything else to say, which is odd because I love to ramble. But my model
Hi.
froze.
Oh,
Why is my model frozen?
nope, that's me. Sorry. If I click off of the shared thing, you freeze for my computer to save energy or whatever, and it's
Oh,
something
that's funny.
It's something I learned with Pokey. I can click onto OBS, and that's the only thing I can click on. OBS and VTube Studio. But if anything gets over on the same screen over the capture thing, then you just freeze, and it's just like, thanks, computer. But there's some behind the curtain stuff for you audience members.
I can't think of anything else to really add. This has been a wonderful time, and my face hurts from laughing so much and smiling like an idiot. This has been fun.
Well, I'm glad. All right. Well, I guess that'll probably be all the time you have for today, because Novella needed to sleep, and we've hit 3 hours, like I always try to with every stream.
Y'all have been wonderful. This has been lovely. Thank you for having me, and again, thank you for being so patient with me to get everything in order.
No worries. It was perfectly fine. Like I said, I'm glad we got you on. Believe it, as soon as you actually were able to like pull the trigger on being on, it did go way faster.
Hell yeah!
Like it was like, yeah, I'll be on. Okay, win. And then it was like a while, and then it was like suddenly it's just like, hey, when can we be on? And it's like, next week, done. And it's like, okay, cool,
let's go.
So as soon as it was on the like schedule, it was super easy. So it did perfectly fine.
Whoever you have next on, tell them I said hi.
I will. All right. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you all had a cell of a night instead of time. Please go show all sorts of love and support towards our lovely guest Novella. They have been amazing. And like I said, I will 100% try to hang out with you more because you are fun to talk to. And anything you'd like to shout out? Any cool thing that's coming up for you? Anything? Self-promote yourself.
Well, at the current moment, I'm planning on returning to streaming proper tomorrow. I'm going to be running Miitopia for myself after I get off of work. And then hopefully next week I'll be streaming my usual schedule of just Tuesday to Friday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What game are you playing? I know you're doing D&D, but what game are you playing right now?
Well, right now I'm trying to finish up Miitopia, the silly little RPG game that uses just me's.
I really want to play that game. That looks so fun.
It's so silly. It's so much fun. I have so much fun with it. I've actually done now maybe up to 6 different runs, which does require me to reset the game every single time when I do it, but oh my god, it's so worth it. It's so much fun.
That's awesome. All right, well, anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all had a cell of a night. Check out Novella. I hope you have a good check out our socials, all that stuff. Check out her socials too.
Yes.
I don't have a convenient link for that, but go to her thing and check that out. I didn't
Honestly,
really think
you
that.
just shout me out again if you just wanted to. Just
I have a 35-minute timer left on that. That's the problem.
Ah, shit! I didn't know that had a timer. Heck!
Yeah, you can only do it once an hour per person.
You could find me on Novella Heartstrings pretty much anywhere. But it's on Blue Sky or on Twitter. I refuse to call it X. Novella Hearts VT.
Click her name in the title of the stream.
Yeah. Also, if you find me playing on Warframe under the same name, Novella Hearts VT, I'm literally just grinding. Hi, I do play offline a lot.
Die. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.